One. Oh, hey guys. Welcome back to the project. We're picking up where we left off from last week. And welcome to our 1974 Forever House renovation series. Today we're tackling a really cool thing. We're going to be tearing out this entire load-bearing wall in the back of the house. Yeah, right? It's funny because in where I live, doing structural work like this is actually a repair. So we don't even need to have a building permit. So that's kind of bizarre. For everybody out there, you're thinking about doing load-bearing walls and doing some major changes, this is the video for you. We're doing two different styles. Today, like right away, we're just taking out this header. We've got our temporary support wall in place. If you want to understand all that, we'll build this knowledge base as we go through the video. We're going to do this one in case you want to change a window style and leave your exterior facade the same. So that's what we're tackling in this first part of the video. Second part of the video is we're going to be just gutting the outside. We're skinning it all open, okay? We're going to be removing windows and reframing our wall. I was looking at the structure and I'm like, I don't need to have 800 pieces of lumber in here for supporting all kinds of framing issues that don't exist. It's bad for my thermal break. So we're going to reframe the whole wall 16-inch on center and changing the facade and putting on a brand new OSB skin. That's because I can't in good conscience spray foam over all this staining and mold and everything else that's here. So we're going to rebuild the whole thing. We're going to get a walk and talk outside. We're going to show you the building technology from 74, how they built the house, so you can understand the weaknesses that are in your homes, okay? That'll be important. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to take some breaks, answer some questions. By the way, we have major storm rolling through our area at 3 o'clock today. So at 2:30, if you guys can remind me, hey, Jeff, it's time to put the house wrap on the building. No matter what stage of construction we're at, we need 30 minutes to wrap the house and put on those cap head nails so that at least the facade of this will be water resistant. All right. Anyway, last time we were here, I didn't know where my cat's paw was. So I went and had Matt go and buy me one. Here we go. You know what, Matt? Can you grab me my safety glasses off my bench, actually? I really shouldn't be working without them. So this process is simple. We are basically delaminating my header. Thanks, bud. And we have this wall here. I have a stud picking up every truss. So I'm taking the weight off of this wall and I'm placing it into this section. It goes down onto the floor joist, carries that load back to the outside wall, which means there's no weight on this, okay? Which is awesome. Well, I shouldn't say weight. There's no load. There's a difference between weight and load. And that difference is this. Load is the thing that's responsible to carry the weight. Weight is something that is thrust upon something else. So if I have two studs and I have this piece up here, and someone's laying across my roof, their weight would still be on this plate, but the load goes into this, okay? Because whatever's transferring it to the foundation, that's the load carrying. And so this isn't carrying the load anymore, but it could still feel the weight of the roof, all right? And so when you're putting in a temporary wall, got a comment last time that says, well, how come you're measuring each stud individually? Why don't you just build the wall and stick it up? Because I want to be very precise with the actual dimensional measurement here, because all of our lumber in this house is dimensional lumber. And that means it can have curves and warps and bends, and every one of these studs is a different height. So we're going to mimic exactly the space so that when I cut this lumber over here, it transfers load. Okay, here we go. Now, oh man, if you don't have one of these tools yet, get one. Looks like this. It's a little DeWalt tool, all right? Brilliant for pulling nails, getting in all kinds of tricky little situations. There we are. Almost done. Woo! All right. Now we're inside today and we got air conditioning, but we also got a bunch of halogen lights. Because I had some LEDs set up for the show, but they make a really funky kind of like strobe effect. There we go. Now, this is going to be nailed together from both sides. This is why this gets tricky. Can I get my skill saw over here, bud? And then we can take a look, Matt, as well. I don't think there's any nails going into this from underneath. Usually windows are installed through the sides only, so we should be okay. Here we are. Thanks, bud. Now, I'm going to set my blade here, 1.5 inches, give or take. There we go. That's good. And I'm going to just make this a little easier to remove here. That's asking a lot from a power stack battery, but hey, that did all right. Now, I think I'm going to try using this tool. You can see we have a gap in between the tube headers here, okay? And if I try to just force one against the other, I'm pushing my facade away. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach up here, and I'm going to try to pry it off of itself that way. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think I might still have the nails. Matt, do you remember on Saturday when we did the last live stream, if we had got the nails loose?
We didn't get the nails loose. We were able to pull the header from the bottom. We were able to pull it down.
Really, eh? Okay. I think for today's video, I'm going to just rely on the window frame and just get rid of it. There we go. Oh, there was one nail into the window. Imagine that. Thank you, sir. Same thing. Yeah, there are nails in here. Nope. Oh, that's going to happen. Okay. I do have nails. Can I have the Sawzall? Thanks, bud. Yeah, now I got a gap in here. Yeah. Oh, we don't have it set up, do we? We'll do it this way. You can see they nailed through the top plate into the header, which means they'll probably have done the same thing to the other side. This one's pretty much loosened off now, eh? I got a nail right here that's in the way. Hey, just curious if you guys want to just get in the chat and let me know. Are you planning any renovations in the next year where you're thinking, I would love to make my window bigger, looking to do a little bit of structural rework? I would love to know, because I know I got a lot of people in our membership and they joined for that exact reason, to help get advice on their structural changes. And I don't mind giving advice to structural changes, but guys, just remember, different areas have different rules. Different houses have different strengths and weaknesses and requirements. And I can't ever really give you 100% perfect advice on these issues. Oh, wow. There's really nothing holding this window together anymore, is there? All right, Matt. I'm going to take the skill saw again and do one more run. So I can share my experience. I can give you insider information as to a lot of the systems and processes, but you're always going to want to get a structural engineer to guarantee that your process is going to be compliant with your region. Here we go. Okay, here we are. Thank you. Now, hopefully we don't have too much excitement going on. Look at this. You know what the problem here is, Matt? This window is not attached to the stud over here. It is actually just floating. That is crazy. So all of this, they never had the original window attached to the house. That's not helping me out very much, is it? Okay, new plan. I was going to try to show you how to change it and remove it, but that depends if they installed it right the first time. And they didn't. Okay, so in behind, we have screws. They're supposed to be 3 to 3.5 inch structural. Let me show you what they use. Okay, so that's a 2.5 inch screw. But this is the new window going into the old window jamb. The old window jamb didn't have a single nail or screw going all the way into the house. That's why it's floating. Okay, I'm going to take the Sawzall mitt with the torch blade. I'm going to have no option but to remove this window. Oh, there's nothing there. There we go. That's the last fastener right there. Can I get you outside?
Yeah.
And you can catch this for me? Yeah. All right. Here we go. Unbelievable. Okay. Let me know. Is that working? Are we getting enough separation? Yeah. Well, we still got a little bit of action down here. Let me see if I can pull the inside in. Okay. That'll give you more clearance. There's the nail. Got it. Okay. They used a bunch of shims and then one nail right through the middle down here, buddy. There it is. Okay. Now see if you're going to peel it from there. No? And do you have a flange on the outside? Extension?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to pull it to me, and then I'll drop the top down. Ready? There we go. You got room yet?
Am I trying to pull it out towards me?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get some extra space for you.
Well, we got a screw down here.
Yeah, but it's not going into anything. Yeah. Just getting rid of all the shims. Okay. There we go. Ready? All right. I can't pull this out because of the flange.
Yeah, we're still attached.
I'm trying to roll you.
So I'm getting caught on like cardboard pieces up here.
Yeah.
We're also rubbing on the top.
Are we?
So I think we're gonna just have to disassemble the whole thing and then like wiggle it out.
Let's just cut right through the jams in. You want to come and take the Sawzall, put it in a wood metal blade, and then we'll just cut right through.
Sure.
All right. All right. Hey, you can't win every battle, right? Here we go. So we're just going to make this a little bit easier for us to cut the old jam. The last thing I want to do, guys, is I don't want to be cutting breaking any glass. That makes the job site dangerous. That's right through to the outside. Good. Okay. All right, buddy. I'm going to put you back outside again. Oh, hey, we got a longer one than this? I want to get all the way through to the outside. All right, thanks. Just open up that little container that I got there. Brilliant. Oh. Whew. All right. Well, I tell you what, why do we got a couple minutes? Why don't I just jump over into the command center over here? Let's get into some chat. All right. Oh, let's answer some questions. Penny's saying she has this exact problem at her house right now. Which problem is that, Penny? That the walls are wobbling around? Are you trying to change out a window? Oh, man. Here we go. Yeah, would it be easier to remove the window panes first? Yeah. I wish. Those are modern sliders. Now, in a basement, your sliders actually remove. This one doesn't pop out all that easy. I'd already gave it a shot. So we're just going to cut the old frame away because these windows are replacement windows. So there's an existing wooden frame and then the new vinyl window went inside that existing frame. That's why it's not connected very well because the original wooden frame wasn't put into the studs. They were relying on a whole lot of other things to hold it together. Yeah, it's got something. It's putting up a fight, eh? Anyway, not a big deal. We'll win the fight. Hey, morning, Paint. How you doing? This is going to be fun, guys. All right, here's a good question. Can you please make a video for removing the old insulation from the attic or any of the Home Depot wet and dry vacuums? Do they work in Ontario? Dust collector, 4-inch pipe, insul removal bikes. Yeah, so if you're going to remove insulation from your attic, there is a vacuum that you can rent. Probably go to like a place like Robertson or Sunbelt. And it's like a 4 to 6 inch hose. And you just go up there and you start sucking it all up, okay? They're tough to get a hold on depending on the season, but right now, building is a little slow. The renovating world's a little slow. So it's probably a good idea to give that a shot and see if they can help you out. Oh, here we go. Dan is saying he's refinishing a sunroom addition from the 70s, yeah. Metal storm door, feeling like it's caulked in all the wrong places. Where would you caulk around windows, storm doors, exterior, interior, east? Okay, Dan. This is the right video for you because in a few minutes after I pop this out, we're going to go around the other side. We're going to show you what the water diversion system was in this house. And we'll show you the effect in this because we can see all the water standing in here. So we can actually identify all the weaknesses in their system so that you'll know how they messed up your house too. We're ready to go?
So we didn't have a long wood cutting blade, but we do have a long bi-metal blade.
It'll work, get the job done. I'm still going to have you outside, Matt. Oh, there you are. Okay. Am I coming all the way through the outside? I'm in the bottom right corner. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll try going straight through this way. There we go. That's that. Okay. So what do we got?
Oh, look at the size of that.
We got a spider or something?
Oh.
Nope. That's definitely a flying insect. Okay. So what I want you to do, Matt, so I want you to take this piece and just pull it up towards you here. It'll peel off the corner. Yeah. You got anything else in the way? Okay. It'll give up the ghost. And there we are. All right, so now we have the ability to, should be able to pop that in. Once you pull the trim and find all the rest of those nails, there's a little bit more resistance. All right, there we go. The more violent you are, the less we have to show everybody. All right, you got that caulking joint down there? That's going to be your problem. You got a knife on you? Just slice this joint. Yeah, that one right there. We'll show all you this in a minute when we go outside. We got 2 more windows to rip out. There we go. Okay, so now I'm getting separation. Okay, so now you can pull this outside. Slow and easy. Pull it towards you. Keep an eye on that window.
That window's gonna shatter.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
Listen, we only have a couple of nails out here. Why don't we just take off a couple of these nails, level the window back off, and then shimmy it out as one?
We got
piece.
nails out here?
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
There's the one.
Let's grab Joe. We'll go outside. Yeah? Yeah? All right. All right, Joe, let's go outside, buddy. We'll go out there and do this. Here, Matt, put this on the floor in case we need to get a good cut. All right. Look how good you are, sir. All righty. And yeah, we'll go back in here. Here's a premature look at outside. Oh, this is what happens, right? We got window on window. Okay. I'm really just not seeing where it's connected here, Matt. Maybe it's the right side? Oh, it just fell out. That's perfect. Okay. So what you want to do, instead of putting your shoulder on the glass, yeah, you got to carry that way. Okay, perfect. All right.
What do I do now?
Set it down behind you. Yeah, that's a great idea. We'll just set it down for now until we get a little bit less traffic. Oh, there's this nail that was in the way still. Look at that. They must have had 2. Bloody, from underneath even.
Yeah.
Who builds like this? That's so maddening. All right. Well, for what that's worth, where are we going to go? Yeah, let's just go back inside and rebuild the header like we were going to. Oh, my God. Hey, it's always an adventure, eh? Wow. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get in a renovation like this. Different people have different renovation styles and different techniques. And there we go. So what we learned, I was trying to go to camera 3. That didn't work out too well. So here we are. What we learned, guys, is these guys are nailing from underneath the plate into the window jamb. Mind blown. But then again, when you realize back in those days, they weren't using screws, it's probably easier to do that than a nail window frame. Now, if you got a window back in the 20s or the early 1900s, it was all through the window frame. That's kind of what I was expecting, but these guys surprised me. All right. So now we're going to go and just go through the measurement again. One time. Yeah, this is a ranch. So it's got only a half sunken basement, which is nice. We are going to go back through the math real quick again, make sure we got our placement. If you're part of the last live stream at the very end, we were talking about the math and how big this window is, where it goes. So we'll just run over here and do that now. Oh. So real quick, as a recap, I've got a wall going to go up in my kitchen right here. Comes off the middle of my staircase. And here, I still got the marks on the floor. There we go. We'll get down here, Joe. This will be the front of my cabinet. This will be the back of the wall. That's the thickness of the wall. And then I've got, in my bedroom, I've got a wall of cabinetry going here for a closet. So from this point to the outside, that's the number that I need. And that is 160 inches. And half of that is 80. And I had that written on the glass, but this is gone now, so I'll just use the plate. Half of 160 is 80 inches. There we are. So that is my center line of the room, officially from my bedroom, from cabinet to wall. And I want to put in about an 8-foot window. And so that's 48. Now, I'm only a half an inch off from my measurement. And so if I keep this intact right here, what I get is I get a place for my header to start, and then I'm going to double up the 2x4 here, take it to actual 3 inches. So that'll be ideal. All right, so I'm just going to leave these two pieces intact, and then we'll work from this location. I'll be so close to perfect on this, it won't even be funny. My designer will be happy that I got almost perfectly center, and a half an inch one way or the other in a 12-foot room, who cares, right? Okay, so next for me is to remove the rest of this header.
Basically cut in half. Did you just want to pry it out?
Yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't fight too much now that there's no window there, right? Like I imagine, we should be able to just lift it off of the skin here. Yeah, you know what? The majority of the strength here is actually coming from these nails from on top, from the top. You still got that Sawzall around handy? Because I got a bunch of nails here, and if we manage to get those cut, then this is going to come off real easy. Thanks, buddy. All right, here we go. And then from the end. There you go. That should be all you. There we go. Well, it's about time something went according to plan, eh? Here we are. Okay, now. So, in my house, that means this plate is now no longer of any effect. Okay, so our goal here is now to remove this plate out of the way and this little half stud, cut and measure a stud to the same height here, build our header, get rid of all the nails sticking out of the top, because these are a problem, they're in the way. Why don't you jump on the bench mat, grab the grinder, put on your eyes, and clean up all of my nails that are sticking out of that plate. Okay? And I'll take care of ripping this out. Now, this is just brute force again. Oh, one of the biggest mistakes they made in these old houses is they put the sills in, they cut level and put the sill in level. And there's no waterproofing on this. You'll see in the next window it gets even worse than this, but any water that gets in behind, and it will, comes down and sits on the sill and it stays soaking wet. If you cut a 2-degree slope on your studs that are holding these sills, and you put your sill on and it's on an angle and it sheds the water back out again. That's the way I like to do it anyway. Oh, wow. It's just rotten. Brilliant. There we go. Okay. So we need to get rid of this. Remember, all of this can be done because that wall's carrying the load. Like, look at this vibration on here. That's carrying the whole bloody roof. Here we are. Here we go. Here's my great big hammer. Thank you, sir. All right. Matt, can you grab one of those 92 and 5/8? I'm going to give you a measurement here. I'll have you run out and cut that. So my stud is what we call a jack stud. Help jack it up. 83 and a 16th. Yes, sir. That's rather exact, but that's what we need. Yeah, it's funny. My daughter's outside making faces trying to get me to laugh. Now, we're going to clean the plate, get rid of the old nails. This thing is just in the bloody way. Try to use the safety equipment, but there we go. Ah, brilliant. Now I got that. Then we just got to get up and clean up the rest of this. Ah. My son is doing such a good job of keeping this safe and clean. Here we are. New wood. All right. Okay. I got one nail here in the way on the siding. Beautiful. Okay, Matt, can you grab me the your framing nailer? Just pop this in. Loving it. You know what? I can't remember. I thought there was a gap on this end before. Let me just double check my measurement. I don't want to fight too hard to get that in. 9 1/4. Perfect. You know what, Matt, I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here for now. Like just on the side. We'll get the header in, and then we'll slap that in and hammer it down. Because I think it's going to create a lot of compression. Now, we have a header and a laser level on that table too, I believe, right?
Sorry?
My laser level's over there. What I'm going to use is that laser level to transfer my line. I had you make that header 8 foot 3 inches, correct?
Yep.
Oh, come on, honey. Don't fight with me now. All right, 7 foot, 8 foot. Don't fall off your ladder, Jeff. 1, 2, 3. Well, here. Okay. That'll work. All right, Matt. So here's my header. Okay. I'm gonna get you to jump up here with the grinder, cut all these nails out. And I'm just, yeah, we don't need it on for now. I'm just going to guesstimate that line. I want to make sure there's nothing else in the way. So the same measurement that you took there, we should have the same measurement over here. So the new 2x10s are 9 1/4. And that is really odd, but that's the way it is. 9 1/4 from that is going to be 1 1/4. 7 off of 12 is 93, and 9, 90, yeah. 93 1/4 plus 9 1/4, sorry, 83 1/4 plus 9 1/4 makes 92 1/2. Okay. Two at 83 1/4. All right, 2 at 83 1/4 here when you're done that. I'm going to jump in the chat a little bit, grab a drink. Oi, oi, oi. All right. All right. Oh, no more helmets on the table. Last live stream, I put my helmet on the table and I killed my feet. That was really smart, eh? So here we are. While Matt's taking care of that, let's just be over here. We're going to show you how to build a header and measure and install in just a second, but he's just going to finish prepping this space, okay? All right, here we go. Luke, the member. Cheers, Luke. Adding detra heat to a 5x10 bathroom with baseboard heater and thermostat. Can I use the existing power for the new Schluter thermostat? Or should I run a new dedicated circuit to the panel? All right. 5x10 bathroom is actually really small. You're only going to be pulling 1 to maybe 1.5 amps. And in most cases, your baseboard heat is on a loop. If it's the only part of the house that has baseboard heat, then yes, you can. You want to know if it's 110 or 220. So that's your question. You need to identify if that baseboard heat is on a 15 or a 20 amp circuit. If it's on a 15, you need a 110 Schluter thermostat and lead wire, and you can probably run right off that, no problem. If it's sharing other heating sources, though, you're going to have to do a load test. So you might need an electrician to pop by and do a load test and tell you if there's room on that circuit to add the extra power. That's really all it is. As long as there's room in the circuit for the power, you can tie into it. All right? And if it's by itself as a heat source, there's plenty of room. So just go right ahead. All right. Tracy wants to know any suggestions for apps that can help me know how to measure correctly for putting up tile for a shower. I've seen many HRV videos, but suck at math. Don't we all? I don't know of an app that does, but here's a couple of simple rules, Tracy, to help you out. The smaller the tile, the more you get towards that scope of going, just add 10% more square footage than you actually have, okay? And you'll almost always just be fine with that. You'll have leftovers. The bigger the tile, though, what you have to do is you have to start mapping out how many pieces of tile you need. And so you can help your scenario by stacking tile, all right, so that you're not doing cuts all over the place, because off cuts are usually garbage, and that's the problem. So the bigger the tile, the more exact with the measuring you have to do. You could use SketchUp. SketchUp is definitely available for that. But what I usually do when I'm in that situation is I'll just draw all 3 walls of the shower, and I'll figure out my tile orientation, and I'll buy tile to either fit the height or fit the width of the walls. So I reduce my cuts, and then I figure out how many actual stones I need. Then I go to the store and I buy them, and I get a few extras in case I break something drilling a hole. That's all I do. Hopefully that helps. All right. Damage to ceiling, but water, not much. Okay. Due to a nail in the roof. Yeah. All it takes is 1 hole, right? The quote I got said to replace the ceiling too. Is this necessary? They want $7,000. Please advise. When you say not much, that's not exactly a technical term. I'm assuming that the water didn't start dripping through the ceiling. Okay. If the water started dripping through the ceiling, then it depends on what kind of ceiling you have. Drywall can get wet and can dry again and still maintain its integrity if it's only been 1 water event. If that nail caused a lot of water for a long period of time, you might have more issues than that. But generally speaking, a water event doesn't have to replace the ceiling. All you have to do is go cosmetically. Is it still in place? Does it need a little bit of stain block or maybe a paint job? You know, if you want, you could always join our membership and send me a picture of the space. Give me some close-up shots, okay? And I can advise you how to restore that back to normal without spending thousands of dollars. Remember, there's not a lot of contractors out there right now, guys, so they're all giving that, if you're dumb enough to hire me price. That's just the way it works. And if you're smart enough to become a member and learn how to do the stuff yourself, then you can save yourself tens of thousands of dollars home in your own home. So converting an old porch into a finished space. The floor is ramped down, uneven, asbestos tile. What's this easiest way to build a subfloor? Just getting a nice flat base over it. Small grid plus OSB. Okay. So if you have an old porch and you want to have a finished space means you have to have heating and air conditioning. Or you're just going to do like a 3-season room, okay? There's a big difference. Floors, I got a slope, uneven asbestos tile. The best way to build your subfloor is to build on top of it, okay? You don't want to be tearing out or touching that asbestos tile. That is actually the worst type of asbestos, and there's a lot of it, and every time a tile breaks, it releases it in the air, all right? So do yourself a favor and just build something sitting on top of it. Yeah, you could do sleepers. You could just do plywood and screw right through the plywood, and then you're encapsulating it, okay? So then it's trapped and it's not going airborne. So if you like, you can just throw a sheet of 1/2-inch plywood down and you're good to go. If you want to get rid of the slope, however, then what you want to do is lay 2x4s on the ground, drop in a little laser level, and mark the laser line in every one of those studs, and then cut them and then stick them in place, screwing them down, and then put your plywood on top. 16 on center is best, And that's how I would solve that problem. All right. And Matt's going to start building this beam. So we're going to jump back over here and give him a hand, and we'll instruct you guys on the real simple way to do this.
One last question. Can you do Ross's real quick?
Yeah, we could do Ross's question. On my new tiny house build, I'll be putting in a wood stove inside. Would you recommend going through the metal roof straight out or out through the wall and 90-degree up? That's a really great question. And I'm going to be honest with you. There are some really good quality metal roof flanges, but at the end of the day, you're always relying on the heat, adhesive and sealants on a roof. So if you can go out through the side, it's a lot more beneficial because you can actually seal that up a lot better in behind your facade than you can on a roof. And then you're not going to have to worry about the water penetrations. When water gets through a wall, it gets into the wall and then it dries back into the room. When it gets into the roof, it screws up your insulation and it goes everywhere and causes a lot more problems. So if you're looking for like risk management, definitely go out the wall. All right, let's go do this. The only thing with going out the wall is you've got to support that pipe now, Ross, because if your tiny house is moving around, you've got to have multiple supports because you've got elbows, all right? And you got to mitigate the vibration. If you go straight through the roof, then it's anchored a lot better. So there's that to consider as well. Is it going to be driving around or are you going to just park it somewhere and live there? Okay, let's do this, bud. All right, Joe. Let me make sure Joe's here for this. This will be interesting. All right. Let me just get this done. Got to mark my bottle before we go crazy. Oh, thank you, man. All right, here we go. Structural lesson 101. We have 2x10s, okay? 2x10s are the same structural dimension as floor joists in your house. Some houses have got them shorter at 2x8, but 2x10s, when doubled up, act as a structural load transfer member on any residential property for anything except a ridge beam in a house carrying the entire weight of the roof in a snow load. So this is always a safe bet. You never have to worry about qualifying or passing code or having issues. If you go to 2x8, over time, you can end up with sags. Okay, don't do it. 2x10 and you're good to go. So you're putting it in a 2x4 wall, you need 3.5 inches of total material. Okay. You can go 1/2-inch plywood. A lot of the world does. I've seen the older you go, they weren't worried about their thermal issues, and because energy was so cheap back in the old days, they'd put a piece of 1/2-inch plywood here, a piece here, and a piece at the end, nail it all together, and it had a gap. And they would actually run wiring down that gap, right? It was so handy. In today's environment, we are looking for thermal break, okay? So we want our beam to be looking something more like this. This is what we're looking for, okay? Oh, and if I could get the slide the same length, that'd be really awesome. So what we want is a 2x10 1/2-inch rigid foam 2x10, because this stuff comes R3, which is the same insulative value of the window. So you're not going to be creating a draft above your window when you make this header. If you just use plywood, plywood has an R value of only, I believe it is R.5 per every 1/2 inch or something like that. So you're getting a much better quality build this way, and it doesn't compress that much. Now, it might seem like a lot of nails. Each side, stagger them, okay? We have construction expectations nowadays. Whenever you're doing something structural, you need a nail for every 2 inches of lumber. It's called the 2x10, which means you need 5. You want them every 16 inches. I'll let you finish that off, Jude. That's fine. So you start here, then you go 16 inches all the way across. You go on the back side, plus 2 inches, and then you go 16 inches all the way across. And then when he's done, we can cut the foam off and we can stick it in. Right? Oh, 1 second. 1 second before you nail that. Our beam is a little bit longer than the foam. Let me just stick that in here for you. There you go. All right. Yes, sir. I know, it's going to take a few minutes. That's all right. Let's go back and do some questions while he's making all this noise. Oh, we got a question from Penny here that it looks like I've got to jump into. All right. So Penny Harp, is there a type of screw that pulls wood to you? Need to pull shiplap to the new frame without coming from the outside. Oh, I see. I see what you're doing. You're wanting to pull something that's disengaged back to something that's disengaged. Wow. Wow. Yeah. I wonder if I could just do that. Yeah, here, I'll tell you what, Penny. Yeah, here's the system. I'm going to go grab something off my workbench real quick, and I'm going to come back and show you how to make that work, okay? 1 second. Here we go. We still got the all-round up here? Yeah, perfect. All right. I'm going to show Penny a little secret. Now, one of the benefits of my career working in restoration is we had opportunities to work on fire restoration, and we get all kinds of situations where we're dealing with this. This is what we call all-round, okay? See, there's the label for you, all right? Now, this is just metal strapping. It comes galvanized, it comes steel, it comes copper, depending on the materials you're working with. If you're just dealing with regular lumber, you're fine with metal. And the little holes in here, you can actually bend this strapping. And Penny, what you can do is you can attach this end to your outside facade with a short screw, like a 1/2-inch screw. Right? And then you can then take this strapping and you can, instead of attaching it straight to the stud, you can take a 3-inch screw, something like this. This is a structural one, right? But if instead of going straight into the stud, let's do this, okay? If you angled it like this, then when you're going into that stud, there's a space. You've created a 45-degree angle. And when you tighten it, it'll actually pull that material back towards you want it. And then you can drive a screw straight in to hold it in place. Okay, hopefully that helps. But that's a great technique. We've had situations where we've opened up a wall to find that it had a fire in it, and the entire wall was gone. There was nothing but the brick facing an alleyway, and it was just floating there. And so we had to do that same thing with the brick ties and re-engage the brick wall back to the house once we rebuilt it. It was absolutely terrifying. All right. Okay, well, there we go. Yeah, that is a great trick. You know what? We actually, when we did that, we built the wall, put an OSB on it, measured where all our brick ties were, and then drilled the holes in the OSB, stood the wall up, fed all the brick ties through, and then we pulled it all and screwed it all in place. It was crazy, but we got her done. All right, cheers, Penny. I'm glad that helps. Matt, we're good to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Here we go. Emily's got a question. You live in Central Florida? Cheers to Central Florida. Like Leesburg, or we're talking Ocala. I have a concrete block stucco home. There is an overhang in the front of the house. Okay, the ceiling is coming apart. What do I do to replace it with? All right. Concrete block stucco, overhang in the front of the house, ceiling's coming apart. You know, Emily, it's not really so much about what you replace it with. You could just go with wood. I would suggest that being down in Florida, because you guys get such high levels of humidity in the summer, wood is not going to be your friend. Take a look at a product called James Hardie fiber cement board, and it looks like wood, but it's cement, and so it doesn't expand and contract the same, not affected by humidity. And for whatever that's worth, it's fireproof. It actually comes in the colors pre-done, and so you don't even have to do a whole lot of paint work when you're finished. I would recommend that. You can cut it outside. You can buy some blade called cement board blade for your skill saw. You can cut your boards to length and just nail it up with a regular framing nailer. Nice and simple. Great little project. If that's not an answer we're looking for and you need more help, Emily, join membership. And you can send me pictures of your situation, and then I can help you out specifically to your house, okay? Cheers. Let's jump back into this. There we go. Time for my eyes and my head. There we are. Now, what we're looking at here is an actual beam. Right on. Dude, let's get 2 pieces of lumber cut, 83 1/4. We'll go the short ones, yeah. We can always cut these shorter if we need to, so we'll use the 92 5/8.
Okay.
And just for the record, if you're not familiar with this, they actually make lumber 92 5/8. Over here, John, I'll show you. 92 5/8 stud. is exactly the same as a plate plus stud plus 2 plates in most houses construction, okay? They actually deliver to the house 92 5/8 because that's what this dimension is, to fit in between a single and a double. And so if you're looking to do some work in your house and you want to save yourself a lot of work and you're going to change some studs out, buy them cut to the same size you're going to need before you even get going. And you don't have to worry about being perfect with the saw because it comes perfect from the mill, exactly the height that you want. Anyway, here we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that measurement, and we have the luxury of having time on this project. So once we're done framing this space, I'm going to then take my measurement to order my window so I have a nice gap around it. And then in 6 to 8 weeks when the window comes in, we'll be able to come back and install the new window, okay? But for today, we're just going to get this installed, and then we'll peel the outside, change all the other old studs up, put in our new window header. This will be really good. Reframe it, and then we're going to peel the rest of this out. Pop the windows, take the rest of the wall off. We're going to take you on a tour outside, talk about the water damage, where it's coming in, what are the weak spots. You're going to understand your own home a little better. Had a lot of people over the years ask me, can I paint my aluminum siding? And the answer is yes. But understand that behind your aluminum siding, well, it's going to look a lot like this. Okay? Look at this. This is all black mold. It's rot. Even the original frame is moldy. The aluminum siding situation does not come with waterproofing on the house. Okay? The caulking on the siding is the waterproofing. And so if you don't have caulking that's in fantastic shape, your house looks like this. And maybe, just maybe, painting it isn't good enough. All right. Let's just jump back in here. Okay, Matt. All right. Now I need a 92 5/8. Does this all fit in here? Yeah, it does. All right, so this one is going to be a full stud. All right, here we go. Let me get you to hammer that in and over. That's good. You want to go and give it a shot or two from outside now? Yeah, you'll be able to see the bulge. Here, I'll throw a claw through for you. There you go. The claw's just to the left of the stud there, bud. Give me a love tap or two.
To the left or the right of it?
Just to the right of yours.
Am I right?
Yep. Again. One more. Good. Thank you. And again. I had to straighten it out. Sorry, bud. And you got it. Thank you, sir. Okay. Now, when you're making something flush, hit both pieces of material together. Then you won't drive one past the other, okay? Now we're good. All right. So now we can get that laser level set up, Matty. All right. There we go. Not a problem. Not a problem. All right.
So this is good to be placed on the floor?
It is. And you want to be relatively square off. So you can just look at, this is between the two screw lines of this flooring. A little bit more to your left would probably be more perfect. There, that's working. All right. And so you're going to throw this on. I'm going to just throw in a couple of nails here to make this permanent. Oh, yep. All right. Okay. Yeah. So what we're doing is we're dropping a laser level. Simple little tool. Okay. The idea is the laser level comes down, and I'll be able to pick up my location exact down here. And I'm just going to mark where that goes. Okay. And then we're going to come in and nail it in. All right. Okay. Now, we've got 2 jack studs here, okay? And because we're doing a header, we're going to find that it's easier to leave those alone until we get there. And then we can just nail them in one at a time to add the support. All I want to do now is just pry this out of the way. And here's all the nails from the siding job. That's amazing. All right. Well, we're ready here, bud. Let's throw our header in. You over here. And I'm going to just bring a drill up there with me. Yeah, grab a drill. You're going to find it's going to be easier if we just take a couple of those 3-inch screws on a 45-degree angle and just pull it up into the top plate. It'll close the gap and it'll hold the weight. Yes, sir. Not an overabundance, but we got a few, eh? Okay. Here we go. Now, does this thing have a crown? Does this thing have a crown? No? Good. That makes it easier. If there is, put the crown up in the middle. And so we put one side in, and then we can force the other side up. And it'll bend the top plate, move the house, and all that kind of fun stuff. But if it has a warp, you want the warp up because it'll settle down over time. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to put my side in first. Lift it up nice and tight.
We are 1/4 inch long.
Are we? Okay.
I can hammer the stud over.
That's exactly what you're going to do. I'm going to hold this. You're going to hammer that. Oh, that's okay. I got it.
Just watch your face.
Yep. There, that's it. Nails bend. And the exact location doesn't matter as much as getting it in snug. We're good? Okay. Now. There. Now, one side at a time. I'm going to go a few inches back. Okay. A couple inches down. Reverse. Sorry, burn my angle here. And now I'm going to drive forward. Straight up into the plate and close my gap. That's not going anywhere. Okay?
So we have a bowed top plate.
We certainly do. I think this one sunk down over time. Okay? So we'll do the same thing here. This little screw isn't going to be the solution to the problem. It'll help. Okay? Now, look at this gap. Hey, Joe, this would be more dramatic if we can get more straight on here. I think the folks need to see this. I think we should just make our life easy. Let's pull the last 2 pieces out of the way because we're going to need to use a sledge to get our jack posts in.
Okay.
Okay? Yep. Remember, push and pull. There we go. It's giving you a hard time. Oh, there's a nail right at the very top. That's the one that's giving you a hard time. Once that one's loose, you're rocking.
I just don't want to break the...
Yeah, I know. I got you. It's giving you a good fight. Look at that.
There we go.
What's with that nail? I've actually fought really hard. All right. Okay. Now, these 4 nails, we need the grinder. We got to take them out of the plate from there where they stand. You know, it's just a combination of a couple of simple tools, but you go back and forth a lot. There we go. Now, we'll get that done. I'm going to grab the brim just to clean that up when you're done. There we go. That's lovely. All right. Now, the only thing we're going to run into here is these nails in the wall are going to keep us from pushing our our board in properly. Okay. So when we're running our jack post, we want to start about halfway in. Okay. Yeah. Look at the gap.
Feed it into.
Isn't that amazing? So we're going to just beat it into submission. Okay.
Is it easier to hit it from the top or have the bottom in? Sorry. Easier from hit it from the bottom or have the bottom in?
Definitely easier to hit from the bottom.
Really?
Okay. Yep. See, we got no obstructions. And then it'll jack it up. That's why it's called the jack post. How's that gap doing? Almost gone?
Yep. Sweet.
And almost mazel tov. I'm actually not perfect here. That's going to be a pain in the butt. So the way we're going to fix that problem, because I went on an angle. Grab another one of these screws. Okay. I want to pull this out. Okay. Maybe a little bit backwards. There we go. All right, Matt. So we got two things we want to do. One is we want to hammer this in, right? And one, I want to pull this out.
Okay.
All right. So we want to kind of do both of them simultaneously. All right, so I'm going to hold this in place while you hammer that one in. Okay, hold on. We're getting bounce now. Okay. I'm good with this location. Let's nail these two in from the inside, and then we'll bring the next jack in after that. So double tap this thing every 16. Good, nice. All right, now I'm going to have you nail from here as well.
Yeah.
Okay, once we get the top where we want it, and we can use the same technique. All right, we're just going to borrow the screw again. And I'm going to go like this. Okay.
So you're going to pry it.
You got it.
Nail it.
Now you're going to nail the top, and you're going to wait until, is that nice and flush? And wait. I'm going to borrow that screw again. You're working with wood, and nothing's ever straight. Nothing is ever straight, eh? Okay. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go tighter so I can get myself some leverage. There we go. And I'm just going to put it that way. Give her all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 5.
Just splitting.
Okay. Can you get any further in the back?
Yeah, if I angle it more.
Good. You want to hit both members. Okay, now, all we got to do now is remember that this piece here, Matt, is to keep this thing from rolling.
Right.
This one's carrying the load.
Okay.
Now, this one's going to go in here to do the same thing, help carry the load, and it'll be exactly the same problem all over again. Although it won't be as dramatic because now it's lifted up. Okay, so you can just tack that in, and then you can double tap that all the way up. Okay. Gentle. It's not going to fight too much. All right. The outside actually could use a shot in the other direction. I can't reach that far.
Should I just run around?
You might as well. Just give it a love tap. What I'll do is I'm just going to measure off here. 37. 37. There's your stud, the end of my tape. Just go down near the bottom and give it a shot. Go further down. Another. Yeah, no, hit it hard. One good shot. Again, you got it. Thank you. Perfect. Wait. You know you're losing weight when your pants start falling off, right? Like, my goodness. I think I have to go buy myself a belt. I guess that's a victory. I don't know. Can you hit all those real quick? And then that's done. Nice. Okay. Yeah. This is in the way. Now, we got to do one more jack over here, Matt.
What's going on?
I'm going to do this other jack over here. I just want to inspect this surface. We're good. Nothing in the ground. Okay. By the way, if you're putting your jack in and you don't have to hammer it really hard to get it in, it's not long enough. If you're not forcing it in play, it's not picking up any load. There we go. To the face, and then let's see if we can grab a couple going that way. What do you know? All right, guys. We got your T25 around. Maybe it's in this.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. We'll have to figure that one out. I want to drive a couple of those structural screws for this one on that.
Okay. You want to give it a shot on that?
Yeah, sure. I'll throw a few in for now. But there's a bit of a gap here. And I'm vertically challenged. All right. Here we go.
Nice.
All right, that's one. And that was the hardest. Whew. Okay, now I'm just going to come over here. Anything that's short, yeah, you might as well. Okay, and then we're going to go outside in just a minute, and we'll take everybody on the tour out there and show them what's going on. All those short ones can go, yeah. We'll rebuild that in a second. All right, how are we doing for chat? Well, it's 10 after 12. That's not so bad. All right, so next thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to go outside. We're going to show you all the weaknesses. We're going to peel back some layers. You can see the water damage. You'll appreciate and understand how they built. And then we are going to open up this wall completely. We're going to reframe, rebuild, tear out the rest of these windows. This will be the easy part. This will be fun from here. All right, Ice Monkey. You got a porch that is roof on wood, panels on joists. So it radiates a lot of heat downwind in the direct sun. Yeah, no kidding. What installation would be best for outdoor use in Georgia? In between the joists. Okay. When it comes to installation, if you've got room to get bats in there, that'll help. But first of all, what you want to do down in Georgia is you want to get a reflective surface. All right. So take a look at, there's an insulation board, like a little cardboard that has a foil surface. You want to put that foil surface facing the roof, facing the direction of the sun. It actually radiates the sun right back out again. Then you insulate the space. Stuff bat in there. You can blow insulation in there if you like. Or you could even take your roofing off and add a foil surface to your decking and then re-roof if that's an easier process. But you want to definitely get change that radiation from the sun and change its direction. Okay, so get a foil surface in there and then as much insulation as you can. Remember, you're in the south, so no plastic anywhere. No plastic, no plastic. Right? Okay. Here we go. Nick, he's a member. Cheers, Nick. Hey, Jeff, currently own my own business as a handyman. Good for you. It's fairly frowned upon by the trades. But I found those trades are busy with North Carolina. Would you recommend I become a contractor? Pros, cons. You know what? As an individual, as a handyman, I'm not sure if that means you're in North Carolina or not, Nick. Let me know where you're from, because some places are really, really easy rules for handyman services, and some places are more stringent. Like, do you have insurance? Have you gone check your next insurance provider down the south? See if you've got insurance for what you do. That would be really handy. Generally speaking, as a handyman service, there's always going to be a restriction how much money you can charge a client on a particular job, but that really comes down to the day, right? So if you want to bill somebody every day that you're working and they pay you every day, that's a good thing. There's great money in this, right? Being a handyman, no joke about it. It's you end up over time becoming a master of a lot of trades instead of just one, and that makes you useful, right? That makes you formidable. Bryce, putting a sub panel in the shed with conduit, then using the wire, 480, 50 amp sub panel. How do you connect to main panel if I cannot get conduit up to the main panel? What's the best way to do this? Why can't you get conduit up to the main panel? I don't care how you build your house, you can drill a hole, okay? Get your conduit right to the panel. Once you're in your mechanical room, I believe your 50 amp is allowed to be out of the conduit, but it's got to be at least stapled to the wall, bare minimum. So contact your local electrical authority, find out what the rules are, get a homeowner permit if you can, and then make sure you do that right. Like, yeesh, yeah. It's not even about safety as much as investing in your future. You go to sell your house one day, and you want someone saying, hey, this is run wrong, it's not good enough, we have to do it all over again. I'll buy your house, but take 10 grand off for the electrician. You just don't need that hassle in your life. DIY Dave, Jeff, when laying tile in an irregular region, would you even consider changing layout directions within that region? Example, one section one way, immediately adjacent section another. I'm a little confused, DIY Dave, with what we're saying here. You mean in an irregular pattern? I like to look at it this way. When you look at your tile job, it should look like they built the house on top of the tile. So if you have to change directions and locations from your tile position, it's okay. Use laser levels, mark off where your end from your start is, and always work with your ass to the door. If you're actually putting in different size tile, that's a totally different conversation. And if the homeowner is good with that, or if you're doing it at your house and that's good with you, then fine. But best practice is always the same stone. Or if it's a different stone, separate it with a white marble sill so when the door is closed, you can't see one from the other. All right, let's go on to this now. One more question here for Andrew. Jeff, I bought a mobile here. Oh, near Pembroke. Ah, there you go. Ontario boy. It's got 2x3s spaced 12 inches apart. Do you think I could drywall it? Here's my only problem, Andrew. It sounds like your mobile home. 2x3s interior walls is fine. Yes, you can drywall it. But if your 2x3s are on your outside wall, you're in trouble, man. You're going to freeze your butt off this winter. So if you got 2x3s in your walls and they're the exterior walls, add 2x2s in front of them and get R20 in that wall, or you're done for. But if it's an interior wall, nothing wrong with drywalling on a 2x3. You're going to be just fine. Make sure that you add some screws top and bottom so things aren't moving around on you too much, because they might have relied on long staples. I like to upgrade my beef when I'm going to be doing drywall work inside of a mobile home. Other than that, cheers, buddy. You're good to go. And here we are. Look at that. Bing, bang, boom. We got ourselves a house. All right. Here we go, boys and girls. Hey, nothing like a hole in the floor to fall on a ladder, eh? All right. Now, we got a design element here. I really want a 4 foot tall window. Okay. And that takes me all the way down to here. Okay. So it's going to be lower than before. And I don't think I have a problem with that height. That'll be gorgeous. I'll be lying in bed, looking out the window. Ah, beautiful backyard. So here we go. 4 feet. Ground. Here's my height. Here's my height. Oh. Man, just get that out of my mouth. It's driving me nuts. Here we go. Now, whenever you're marking something, get your eyes to the location of the mark. So if I'm marking 4 feet standing up, I missed it. Guaranteed. You can't look at something on an angle and get the right mark. Got to get your butt down here, all right? So that's one of the reasons I had to lose some weight. I've stopped being able to measure things. All right. Here we go. We're good? Beautiful. All right, Matt, we're going to cut the plate. We're going to take measurements for all of our studs. Okay. If that's my finished height, then my studs need to be, we're going to just create a little extra gap for our window. We'll go 34.5. So we got a quarter top and bottom. 34.5 means 33 for my studs. And I want you to change the saw to 2 degrees.
Okay.
So 33 on the long side.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them.
33 on a 2-degree angle.
Yeah.
And which stock would you want that out of? Does it matter?
Well, you're going to get 2 studs either way. Let's take a couple of 8s.
Okay.
We're running low on the 92s. We'll grab a couple of 8s.
3 times 6 at 2 degrees.
You got it.
Okay.
And then the top plate is going to be running me, should be 8 feet, right? 93 inches. Perfect. This one's 93. Okay. Now, I think because of all of the materials we have here and all the nails sticking through, it probably makes sense for us, before we reframe this, to go outside and skin the rest of the house. So, Joe, what do you say? Why don't you go for a walk and talk? All right. And then we can talk to the folks there about all the weaknesses in this house and all the things that we found that are about, like, not bad practice, but they were the general practice back in the 70s before building code. Remember, in Ontario, we didn't even have a building code until 75. So a lot of this was done old school. So let's go take a look, see what we can find out. All righty. Now, oh. Okay, Joe, we'll just come on down here. First thing I want you to see is we experienced this. This tar paper here, this is the weatherproofing of the house, okay? And you'll see that the last foot was installed at the very end, and it does 2 things. It creates a water diversion system, but it also does this. It exposes all of your 16 on center lines, okay? This is a Johns Manville exterior house board back in the day, and it's basically cardboard, right? Like, that's all we're doing with, just cardboard. Yeah, that's nuts, huh? All right, so what we've got is a house that's got cardboard covered by paper, covered in tar. That's great. And then we've got the aluminum siding, okay? Now, the aluminum siding has got more cardboard in behind it. And it probably acts a little bit like an insulator, but really all it does is collect bugs, and it traps moisture in the wall. Look at this. This is in the middle of the wall. It doesn't have a problem near the window. It's in the middle of the wall, because during these storms that would come from the east, the wind is driving and the siding is opening and closing, and the wind is driving rain in behind it. It's just the fact, okay? These locks aren't sealed airtight. They're not even watertight. So when you get a wind-driven rain, this is the kind of damage you get. Now, on the inside of that wall, you don't see any of this damage here, okay? But you know what's happening. That's why when people say, should I paint? Understand, yes, paint's not a problem. Like, this house is in decent shape. Look at the rest of this. The aluminum siding holds up, right? If you treat this properly and paint it, you probably get another 50 years out of it. But if you know this is going on behind your wall, what point does this fail? And when are you developing mold in your walls? And is that worth it? For me, we're going to skin all of this off. We're going to change the facade in this home. We're probably going to go to cement fiberboard. Love to hear your comments about that. Maybe a James Hardie product. What we're going to do is we're going to take this off. And it's just a few nails. Okay, and then a caulking joint. There's that caulking joint. Yep, that's caulking for you. All right. And we're going to collect all of our aluminum down here. We're going to take it to the recycler. But I want you to show this. Here we go. There's one thin little bit of caulking bead here. One little bead. Okay? It's not engaged. So depending on this, if it's cut a little bit short, water gets in behind it, guaranteed. Take a look at this window, Joe, coming from over here. Do you see any caulking at all here, guys? Nothing. There's no caulking on this. Unbelievable. And so they aren't consistent with their caulking and their waterproofing measures. And now we'll show you this. Okay. So you got caulking, the water gets in behind, it hits this stuff, no tape, it's just overlapped with the window flange. Okay, and that's it. So any water that gets blown in here, it's going to work its way in behind all of this and ultimately end up in here. All right, this is what we found. Now, come on, Joe, we'll go inside and we'll show you the damage. So out here, everything looks fine. You see this little gap? That siding was nailed in the wrong spot. So it's sitting proud. And you're relying on nothing but caulking. Come take a look. Here we go. Give you a second to adjust. I'll stand on this side so it blocks some of the flashing. Look at the mold here. Look at once the water finds a way in, look, it just keeps traveling down. It's getting ugly, ugly, ugly. We got heat in these boxes from the aluminum wiring. All this moisture, it's just leading to rot. Now, if the outside of your house looks good, just like mine does, and you want to paint, this is what's inside. And when you got that much moisture, you're getting ice. And when you get ice, that means it's melting into your insulation. Bad insulation gets wet, it compresses, and it starts to sag out of there. And then you get holes in the top, which is probably what happened here, right? And then when you got a hole up top, then the winter comes, this becomes nothing but frost. And the cycle perpetuates, it gets worse and worse and worse to the point where the drywall itself starts to get so wet that you start having mold coming into the house, sporing, and then it's over, right? Anyway, so our plan here today is to remove all that so we don't have to deal with that mess. And then we're going to seal everything up properly down the road. But again, take a look at this. Look at the gap here. You can see daylight. You can literally see daylight through some of these gaps. Again, they're relying on the caulking only. That's the only defense that they've got. Now, it's going to be beneficial. It'll still have a certain percentage of effectiveness, but you got to maintain it. So if you have an older house, for the love of God, hire yourself a handyman and have them go around and recaulk all your windows. Come check this out, because this is how they install it. I pulled this siding off. It was above the second window. And what they did is they snipped the siding, they bent it over to create a drip edge. Okay, and all they do is they score it with a knife and bend it over. That's it, okay? And look how easy this disengages in the wind. Huh? No caulking there. So above all those windows, all that is a cut piece of siding, and they're relying on that to never break off in the wind. Just saying, your house could be next, all right? So if we understand the building technology is relying on caulking only, and we understand that even in areas where you have the tar paper, the water's being driven in behind during the storm, this house makes sense to me now. Come on inside and I'll show you why. All right. Now, let's look at this wall over here behind the control center. All right. This wall here is nice and dry. No problem with it. Except way up in the corner, there's a little water damage because that's where the chimney is. And again, it's relying on a sealant, caulking, okay? The wall over there, the west wall, it's all brick on the outside, so we don't have the same infiltration. So even though that wall and the wall on the other end over here get all the storms, this wall has no windows. And this wall is perfectly dry. Like there's barely any water stains at all over here. But this wall, because of the windows, there's penetrations, the door, even though it's the east side of the building, and we only get storms from the east once or twice a year, all that damage is from the side of this building that hardly even sees any weather. Unbelievable. If this house was built on the other side of the street, then this orientation would be on the west side. This would have been nothing but black mold. I'm just saying. All right? So we got lucky. Maybe you'll get lucky too, but if you have an old house, consider windows are penetrations that are not sealed up against moisture. Are they taking the brunt of the weather? You already know the inside of your wall is going to look like garbage. All right, let's get back to this. I think what I want to do, Matt, is I want to get outside. and do as much of this demolition as we can before lunch comes.
Yep.
Do we have any idea what we're doing for lunch?
No idea.
No?
Sam's grabbing food right now. Shipped back soon.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. Lunch is coming.
We just go at it.
Let's just glove up and just go crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll get some gloves on because that aluminum can be darn sharp. And we'll get out there and do that. I don't even know where I put my gloves. Here they are. You got yours, Matt? I guess he does. All right. Here we go. We're going to just go pull all this aluminum, get it out of the way. Remember, 2:30. We got to be closing up, whether we like it or not. All right. Now, you know what, Matt? I don't know if we're going to need to cut any more wood today.
Yeah, I'll just move it so I can get the window out of here.
Yeah. I feel like everything else that we got to do is going to be rather simple. All right. So, you're going to carry that right down? Yeah, throw that right in the bin if you can, or at least leave it up against the bin. I'll help you with it in a minute. All right. All right. Now let's take a look here. There's that cardboard again, right? Unbelievable. This is all part of the same piece. Right? Here we go. Way to go put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nails in there. Woo! Okay. That's just not fair. There we go. Oh, all right. There's all that cardboard in behind again. So much easier to do this when you're not on your tippy toes. Where you been all my life? You don't have to get on your toes.
Okay, so what's our system here?
You peel here and I'll peel there. How's that? That way we're not throwing aluminum into each other's faces. Sure. All right. Brilliant. Now we want to be efficient here, but it's not a race to the point where we've got to be reckless, right? Oh. What I'm trying to do is put the garbage in one pile and the aluminum in another. But I think we're going to end up separating this after the fact for the most part. Get a chance to show the folks at home at some point, Joe. We have windows underneath, and we actually got plywood to put it over the top of the windows to protect them. Here we go. Now, if you're a homeowner and you're checking out the scaffolding rig, here's the deal. This is Robertson Rental here in Ottawa. They gave me a price, 5 stages, 3 planks for each stage, safety rails, 1 month rental, $875 plus tax, right? So you can tackle a major project like this as a homeowner, even deliver it and pick it up again. Not a bad gig, right? So don't try to doing stuff like this off a ladder. Save your time. You can knock a major project off on your list. Do a new siding job. Costs a little over $1,000. Get yourself a scaffolding. Work safe, work fast. Be surprised how much of this you can do in the weekend. You can tear the old one off, and then next weekend you can put the new one on. And if it rains, you still got 2 weeks. Here we go. Now, our goal is to get 8 feet from the top, because that's the skin. We're going to put a new skin on, and the OSB sheet comes in 4x8. So we're going to take this sheet, measure down here. It's this plus this one. 8 feet is somewhere in the middle. And our house wrap that we bought is a 10-foot roll. So it'll actually go all the way to the top and extend past the bottom here. We can tape it on, seal it on, make sure that we're good to go until we're ready to do our new facade. The new facade might not come most likely until next spring. So this is just all about getting us prepped for success, getting us weatherproof for the winter. Okay, one more row. That's the last row right here. All right. So maybe after we take that off, we'll take a knife and we'll score the tar paper. All right. And even hammer these back in. Okay. Wow. Weather tight. I wonder what they treated that cardboard with, Matt. Look, they're branding it weather tight. And it's true to their word. That stain doesn't show up on the inside. And that was building science back in the day. The only real problem I have with doing this kind of science is that, and they changed that, there's no racking protection for a building like this. And racking meaning when you build it, you start putting weight on it and snow load, the whole thing can fall over together. So this board is supposed to be nailed on and provide that strength. I'm sure it has some, but it's not as good as an oriented strand board. Here, I already cut some of that loose. All right. There we go. Where's our joint? I expected to see that joint at 8 feet. Why am I not seeing it?
Are we at 8 feet?
Should be. Am I just lousy with the measuring tape? Do I need to do another row? Oh, no, I'm only at 92. I can do one more row. Sorry, I just measured wrong. Okay. Let's expose this and see if this is 8-foot board or... I can't imagine they had 10-foot board back in those days. Yeah, guess what? They had 10-foot boards, it looks like. Well, that really sucks. Okay. Well, if they had 10-foot board, Matt, we're going to be using our knife and we're going to have to cut it off. Okay. Yeah, we could set a blade at 1 inch and just run it right off there. Yeah. Because, here, let me show you. There's my wall plate. Wow. If that's my wall plate, yeah. Matty. I'm just like, I'm not happy to see that. Well, none, because the board will go to like here. Okay. So we got to at least get that off. Then we have a rim joist. Right? So I don't care if the rim joist is exposed because we're going to come back with our Tyvek, which is weatherproofing. Yep. We're still going to have our insulation. Everything will be intact. I don't think we can lose here. I just think we need to
So then if we were to,
cut this off.
if we were just to run that skill saw and maybe cut along the whole wall.
I think this stuff is just weak enough. It'll break off at the cut line. Let's just do that. Okay. Brilliant. All right. I'm going to need a bench. That's just too much fun. All right. I'm too short for this. I got to get way up here. Okay. Get rid of all this. De-nail it. Holy cow. Nails, 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 nails. One thing about these guys from the 70s, man, they all work their butts off. I can't even imagine building houses with nothing but a hammer and nails. By the way, if you've never seen them yet, you want to see some really great framing videos? There is a gentleman named Harry Huan, Huan. There are definitely YouTube videos out there. This guy made videos back in the 70s. So it looks like they were made back in the 70s, but that's okay. I think it was him and his brother. They were framers. They did a series of instructionals on how to frame a house. And these guys did everything by hand. They were so quick with those bloody hammers. I'll tell you. Most carpenters today would be put to shame by those guys working with their hand tools, using their power tools, including me. I am not a hammer aficionado. I am much more of a screw gun kind of fella now. Oh. But they would sit there with a handful of penny nails, just pound those things in there. Like, I'll tell you, it was something else to watch. You see the size of the nails are pulling out of this house, right? Not these little ones, but these monsters. I think they ever had to swing a hammer a third time. One to set it and one to forget it. Unbelievable. Whew. By the way, guys, if you have any suggestions for our live shows, feel free to jump in and let us know. I mean, this is new. Nobody's ever done this before. So we're kind of like open to ideas. If you want to be part of the creative process, then jump on in. But like this kind of work right now, it seems tedious, but this is setting me up for success, right? I want to have it nail-free. Look at this. That's all the insulation just stuffed into a corner, right? You know, when you have to stuff insulation into a corner, you don't get a good R value, right? So this was all R8, R9, and here was like R5. You always have cold spots in the corners when you frame like that. All righty. Hey, you know, Matt, that's a really good point. I just made it.
Okay.
These cavities in the corners are exposed from the backside.
Yep.
Our spray foam guys aren't going to have access to that.
Oh,
No.
no. What does that mean?
Means we got to come up with a solution.
We buy one of those little spray foam cans.
Well, that's an option.
Throw 5 in there or something.
Yeah. Well, you know, it'd work just like that plug on the other wall. Yeah. I could always just drill holes through my studs every 6 or 8 inches and then use a can of window and door foam. I think we'll do that, Matt. We'll do the window and door foam. I don't want to just leave that fiberglass mess there. It's totally inefficient. All right. Now, one other thing. This is going to be fun. All this blocking, useless. Okay. This was to provide the strength against the racking so the house wouldn't fall over. We don't need it because we're going back with our OSB. So this is actually in the way of me getting a really good thermal break with my spray foam when I do get it in. So we'll get that out of the way now. Every nail is important. Run your hammer on the side. Make sure they're all gone. Oh, that head of that one got ripped off. Okay, just yanked it out the old-fashioned way. Brilliant little tool. If you don't have one of those yet, I'll make sure the guys put a link in the video description. You can pick them up. Eric, did you hear that? The DeWalt cat's paw. Yeah, that's a tool that's pulling out the nails there. Let's get that in the video description so people can get a hold of that. DeWalt nail puller. Called a cat's paw. Bear claw. It's all slang, but who knows? All right. A lot of nails in these corners, eh? Get this crap out of here. All right. We're just going to create a weak spot. There we go. That does most of it right there, doesn't it? There we go.
Hey, I came up with a really cool system for this.
Oh, yeah, what's that? You're always developing new systems.
Yeah.
What was it?
I was on the inside, just like flat hand smacking it off the nails.
From the inside.
Came out here and opened it up like a door, and I got a bunch of full pieces down there.
Showing up the old man, huh?
Probably picked it up from you somewhere.
All right, tough guy. Well, it looks like you just did the next half an hour of the work in 5 minutes. And that means you get to have a lunch break. Look at this. These nails are crazy. Why is it, Matt, that in the small spaces, there's more nails than in the big spaces? Seems to always be the case. All right. Whew. Okay. Oh, yeah, buddy. Hey, you know what, Matt? Here's another idea. If we take the Sawzall and we cut this 2x4 out, then we can actually put one as back framing on the inside, and they'll be able to spray foam right around that corner.
That's smart.
Because creating these dead holes is stupid. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Somebody's asking me what the brand of your tool belt
There is no mic. You got to come over here.
So the tool belt I have, I think, is Cunny's.
Yeah.
And then the suspender setup is just to eliminate the weight on the hips. They go for like $15 at Home Depot. And I think they're also Cunny's.
So for all of our American viewers, unfortunately, it doesn't look like Cunny's is available down there.
Isn't it?
No. Isn't that wild? This is a Canadian product. You're a Canadian badass.
I just like the brand, and
Yeah.
There's tons of similar shoulder strap systems. So
Yeah. No, that's cool.
I don't know. I picked it up from a buddy at a drywall job. So
Nice.
he had them. I thought they looked dope. So
Is that what Cole was wearing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are. Shout out to Cole. Oh, I got to get all of my nails here. Can't leave one. Come on, honey. Got one more little pain in the buttski here. Good, it's officially flush. All right. Blah, 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 blah. Down here. Still got a few more. You know what, Matt? I think we should switch the nails out on your gun. And let's put our first sheet in. And lunch just arrived.
Nice.
Here, check this out, Matt. Is the house moving?
That's on.
Yeah. Let's have lunch. We'll do this after lunch. All right. Cheers, guys. We're going to go in. I'm going to get some lunch. We're going to answer some questions at the command center over here with a truth booth, whatever you guys are calling it. All right. Let's get that done. We'll take a break from the tools for a second. There we go. All right. And here we are. Whew. All right. What do we got for lunch today, Chris?
Porchetta sandwiches.
Porchetta sandwiches.
Yeah.
Back to the Italian place again.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're greasy though, so you're not gonna be able to touch your screen. I'll get them.
Oh, I don't need to touch my screen. I'm fine. Here. I'll take that bad boy right here. Nice.
They're so good.
Check this out, guys. Porchetta sandwich. What's the name of the restaurant again?
Pestos.
Pestos. Shout out to Pestos, guys. Listen, if you live within a 3-hour drive of this place, it's worth it, okay? All right. Get into my comments here. Oh, here we are. Yeah. Love the mini studio setup. It's actually on wheels, Joey. So if we want to, we can move to a different location. But yeah, man, this is busy. Look at the love. Look at the love. Yeah, hit the like button. Man. What are you waiting for? That's amazing. Hey, Sandy's in the house. Cheers, Sandy. Welcome back.
Somebody was showing out a tool library idea.
A tool library idea.
Handy kit for anybody. It's $50 a month, $20 a month. They can access all these tools.
Yeah, Ottawa has a Ottawa tool library.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they're still in operation. I know that they had to find some new space a couple of years ago. I'm not exactly up to speed on that, but hey, if you guys are still out there, they'll let us know.
Looking for questions now. The chat was pretty busy.
Yeah. Let's hit them.
Is this one for me here? Sure.
I drink a choice of soda water. It hydrates and helps you burp. Oh, so if somebody has a lifetime membership for their tool library, $200. That's not a bad gig. All right, cool. Oh. All right. Well, let's get some questions up here, Eric. Put me to work.
Here you go.
I'm fine. Jake, sorry to hear about your father, buddy. Wow. Love from Vancouver Island. You over in Victoria, or are you around the corner up in Tofino area? Orange Tolerable wants to know how I start this kind of work. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and get over here, grab a hammer, and start hitting stuff. That's how I do it. Michael has a question. Is that Michael or Ragnar Lothbrook? I'm not sure. All right. Any advice for someone who just fully gutted a house to try to and live in? Yeah. Put together a quick temporary kitchen. Like barbecue is great for this time of year. And finish the place where you sleep, right? You want to have at least one dust-free room that you can retreat to every night. So finish somewhere and throw towel at the bottom of the door and try to isolate that space and keep it clean, because it's the dust that'll get you, all right? If you're living in the dirt and you never get to leave it, that's it's going to take a few years off your life, bud. All right. Yeah. I've worked at a hoarder's house before. That is really difficult. Every time you want to do something, you got to move everything. It's incredible. Not an easy thing. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Would you like to be hired just to coach house owners to do their work? I am. It's called our channel membership. You can join, and you can join for like a few different levels. You show your love the way you want to. But if you've got questions, hit me up. We got a Discord, and other people in the community will chime in too, because we got people join from all over the world. Building science is different everywhere. Like last couple of years, I've had a chance to go to Florida and Alaska on a work visa, so it was legal, and experience some different kinds of construction technology, and it's been amazing. And so that was a really good experience for me to help round out my understanding of everyone's needs in the South and in the North. Man. So we have a Discord. You guys can send me pictures, and I can hook you up with some really good answers and advice to save you all a ton of money. All right? And the coolest thing is I'm a contractor who's not trying to get the contract. So I don't gain anything from feeding you a line of BS, right? All right. Joel Williams says, I'm putting in a shower with Schluter pre-sloped foam pan. I need to raise it, but their compensation boards are pricey. Can I just use any old foam board under it? Or you can use plywood. There's nothing wrong with throwing in some OSB. It's nice and cheap, and you can raise it up that way. Remember, the Schluter system, it's foam board that is designed to go on concrete or on OSB. So adding another layer of wood is fine, dude. You don't have to go foam just because you're finishing with it. So save your money, throw in some OSB, and don't worry about it. All right. What are my thoughts on rigid foam board polyiso on the exterior for siding? Well, Will, and Will's member. Cheers, buddy. If you're going to insulate the exterior of your house, you're going to find your greatest return on that insulation is in if you have a 2x4 house and you're trying to increase your insulation, right? Well, you get down to the point where you hit your foundation wall. And then what? Now your interior has to be even more thicker, right? And then they're not lined up. The thermal break isn't lined up, and there's always a really bad disconnect there. So if you're going to do exterior insulation, go all the way down past the ground level, okay? And then you got to deal with the fact that none of your windows are going to fit, and everything's going to have to be retrimmed and blah, 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 blah. I'm going to find that changing the inside is easier than changing the outside, unless you're doing it anyway, okay? That's my thing. It's a good system. You're going to get, what, R5 for another inch? Or R10 for an inch, I think is what it is, sorry. And so that's not a bad gig. You know, it's a great way to upgrade. And if you're going to change the facade anyway, then go ahead and knock yourself out. Cheers, buddy.
You need anything? You need anything?
No, I'm good. Well, actually, another bottle of water would be great. Actually, thanks, honey. So, here's a great question. Joe, in this house and in your 1900 farmhouse, there's diagonal bracing in the walls. Can you explain why modern framing does not use diagonal bracing? Actually, modern framing still does in some cases. When you build a wall like the one you see beside me, and all the sticks are straight up, okay, they're nailed in. If there's nothing on the outside to prevent it from going like this, all right, you've all seen that short where the house was done 2 stories plus the roof and they had no sheathing, no diagonal bracing. Eventually, it just falls under its own weight. Okay, so the sheathing that you see behind me has some rigidity to it, and that bracing that you see in that corner, there, way over here, that diagonal bracing. The best way to do it is actually you notch your studs, okay, and then you set the brace into the studs. The way they did it here is they just put 1 brace in every stud bay. Not as effective, but better than nothing. That provides a strength against what they call racking, and that's when it falls over, okay? Modern houses use sheet goods like we're going to do now. We're going to build it with OSB sheet, and that oriented strand board sheet good is 4 feet by 8 feet, nailed into all the stud frame. That now becomes my system to prevent the racking, and it's incredibly sturdy. Ryan, oh, another member. Cheers, Ryan. Remodeling your laundry room, but need to relocate the dryer duct and the outlet. Good. Before I rip the drywall apart, what is the typical ducting that goes in the wall for dryer vent? 4-inch, rigid vent for sure. Try to go 4-inch rigid vent. And depending where your laundry room is, a lot of people are in the basement and they'll go out through the ridge beam. Now, if you go through the rim joist for your dryer exhaust, you're putting a real big penetration in there, and you can do that with wood. Most people don't have a drill bit or a saw that'll go through a 4-inch, make a nice clean hole, so they butcher the hole. But then they don't have any wood left to screw the cover on. Another option is if your foundation comes up above the ground enough, you can call the company, and this is technical, so you're gonna have to use Google. It's called core drilling, all right? And these guys will show up on a truck. They've got compressor technology. They'll run over there with a saw, and they'll drill a perfectly 4 1/8-inch round hole through your concrete foundation or your block wall. They'll do it in about 15 or 20 minutes, charge you a reasonable buck, and then they're gone. You don't have to interrupt the technology and create a weak spot or a penetration where your wood is. You can do the penetration where your concrete is, and that is a much better way to work, okay? Because concrete is easy to seal, and wood penetrations will end up getting wet. Wet causes rot. Rot causes ants, termites, and all the rest of it. So if you can avoid drilling through your wood, do it, and it'll just keep your house that much stronger. All right. Just pulled up carpet over your wood floors in your house. There are a few spots that are worn and need a touch-up, but I don't want to refinish the entire floor. Any suggestions? Okay, so I'm assuming you have carpet over hardwood finish, and the presence of the carpet has caused a little bit of wear and tear. You don't want to refinish the entire floor, just some spots need a touch-up. Okay, try Varathane Renewal, all right? Now this is a chemical touch-up system. You put in one coat and it kind of sets up the finish so that you can do a refinishing program on your existing hardwood without sanding down to the bare wood. So if it's your finish that's just looking a little bit dull and not shiny, Varathane Renewal, it's a 2-part kit, 3-part system. You can do it all in one day. And I've used it in the past and it has worked out great for me. All right. Okay. Matt's just busy hard at work, is he? He's a good man. Let's do a couple more questions, and I'm going to save the other half of my sandwich till later. All right.
Hey, Jeff, just a little update.
Yes, sir.
We might get rain by 2.
We might get rain by 2? Like rain or just a little rain? That doesn't look like much to me. All right. Well, we'll just keep that on the old back burner. We're going to jump into some sheathing now anyway. We're going to pop the windows. So we're going to pop these windows, do some sheathing. Yep, we got that question. I think we're good. I think we're going to be good. Yep. We're going to just jump back into the tools. Lunch was quick and short. That's all right. And loving this, guys. We're going to be doing 2 shows next week, I believe, right? Am I allowed to advertise this, or is it too late? Cat's out of the bag. All right. So we have got the rest of the demolition downstairs on a 1974 basement. Was fully finished with subflooring. We're going to be pulling all that up, looking for weak spots, sharing with you the disastrous concept that they called basement framing and insulation. Can't even believe that that was even something that people allowed anybody else to do. But it was pretty much par for the course back in the day to be stupid with the way they finished basements, right? I mean, after all, we're only shoving our kids in there. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. How you doing, Matt? Did you get a chance to get some lunch?
Yeah, I was only able to eat half that sandwich.
Me too, but I feel like we're just being pressured by the storm. I'd like to get this done. All right, let's get going. Here we go, guys. Let's start off with the sheathing, the first one.
Okay.
I'm ready to go. So if you want to just haul a sheet over there. Should we do horizontals? Because then we have all of our 16 studs bracing, or are we just going to go vertical and go for it?
It's your call.
Let's just go vertical. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt, let's just go vertical. I'm just going to put a mark on the siding down here where the studs are. Okay. Here we go. I'm just marking off my stud package. All right. You got your gun set up with the new nails?
Sorry?
Did you get the gun set up to the new nails?
No.
Okay.
You got that?
Yep.
Here, actually, take these, if you can. I don't think we're using
We will at some point, but I'll just leave it on the ladder here. All right. And the box is outside, right? That box is over here in the corner. Beautiful. All right. I think for the most part, well, it is getting a little dark in the distance, isn't it? Thanks, buddy. Let's just put that board and the saw, tuck it into a corner out of the way. Okay. What did we end up getting here? 2-inch? Can't even read the package. Yeah, 2-inch. Good. So the Milwaukee tool actually has a minimum 2-inch for the nail. So it has a different track size here. That's good. We'll be working with those. Brilliant. And you kind of got to go up and under on it, don't you?
Yep.
You want to do it like ambulance style? Or are you going to try to do that yourself? You're going to go down. Oh, yeah, you got to. That's going to be a little frustrating, but we'll survive. All right. Here. Let's get flush to the old sheathing. That's actually really nice. And then up to the top.
Okay.
Can we lift that?
Yeah, you tell me when.
Right up to that double. Right up to those. Yeah, let's just close that off. How are we looking here? You know what? Come down a 1/2 inch. I want to be. And then are we on tight to the side, to the left? Yep. Okay. Okay, I'm liking that. Okay, thank you. Let's get the next one. All right. So what I did is I marked on the plate down here where my studs are. And that'll help. Hopefully I'll be able to hit most of the studs most of the time. That is an amazing gun, Matt. I'm really loving this toy. Let's see how my aim is. Yeah, that's not half bad, actually. All right. I'm digging that. I'm digging that. Boy. Now we just got to keep cleaning up as we go. Shoving in these sheets. Okay. Now, that's a problem. Well, I don't like the fact that that's not attached. Just gotta. All right. Okay. Woo-wee. Okay. All right. You stole my ladder. All right, dude. Here, let's get this window together. Yeah. I'm just gonna get that Sawzall and we'll cut it out. All right. Now I'll save the batteries on that. Okay, coming in with the Sawzall, bud. changing that blade out, that's for sure. She's done. She's done. Beautiful. All righty. So the other blade was good with nails. This one works against the screws. There, that's that side. At least this one's normal. It looks like it's just a side install, eh? It's giving me a problem here. Okay, how's that? All right. And are you all disengaged, period, or what?
No, I think our top is still in.
I think so too. There, got that one.
Okay.
What in the heck, eh? How's that?
Still.
Hands. There you go. Open that like a door. All the way. And just go. There we are. Brilliant. You just got a nail on that flange. There you go, bud. Sweet. Well done. All right. Now, this is where we get to have a little bit of fun, because we are basically leaving one window. This is going to be wall in my kitchen behind cabinets now. The next window over is going to be wall above the stove. We're going to be relying on the skylights in this new kitchen to bring us our daylight, plus our lighting package. So all we want here now, Matt, instead of cleaning all the nails, we're just going to decide which studs we're keeping. Okay? So we want to go 16 on center. And the easiest way to do that is take it from the first stud that was and measure here. Now, come check this out straight on, Joe. You see that red square? My tape shows red squares where the beginning of the 16 on center is. So I'm only half an inch out here over that, which is fine. And so I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to put one here. So this double is gone. This is gone. I'm going to keep this stud if I can. So I'm just going to cut through here and peel this off, drop the header. Everything else is, all of this from here to this stud is gone. Okay? So, I'm going to change that out.
Pull the nails out or hammer them in?
I would rather pull them out, but at the same time, I don't even want to bother them unless we're keeping the stud. So on that stud, you can clean that up, and I'm just going to cut this loose. Oh, guess what I forgot? We didn't put a temporary wall in yet. We're moving along so fast. We're going to leave that blade there as part of our structure. Wow. All right. Refocusing our energy now. Okay. So before we go tearing out a wall with a header, let's be smart and actually put up our temporary wall. All right. All right. So Let's get the nailer. Let's put the real big boys in there again. So this stud stays. This stud stays, but I need to pick up here. I need to pick up that one. Okay. I wish that would just get out of the way. There we go. All right. Now, the rules of engagement for temporary walls. Generally 24 inches from where you're working. This is summertime. We have no snow load. And I generally prefer a little bit more space when I'm working, doing this. And that's going to pick up that one just fine. If I can just get you to throw 2 nails in this plate, Matt, so it's not moving around on us.
Just anywhere?
Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm throwing this laser line. Can you throw a hand down there for me so I can see its reflection? Just give me a backdrop. Where am I?
In my eyeball.
Oh, I see it there now. I think that's good. That's close enough. Okay. Yeah. No, that's good. We're going to throw a top plate on. Okay. Give me a bench. There we go. Now, I'm going to hold this up here. And you're going to throw. Where is it? Oh, yeah, you're in the way. Okay, go. Just one. And then there we go.
We're not picking up.
That's fine. And then put one in here as well, because we want to get rid of the deflection in that. So it's got to be tight or it's just not doing the job. Good. You can kill the laser now. Going to be grabbing some 8-foot lumber here. All right, and what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to just take measurements corresponding with where the trusses are, so that the load from the roof that's in this 2x4, we transfer it in a 2x4 that goes down to the ground to the floor package and then back to the outside wall. All right. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to just write the number on there for you. Is that what you're thinking? Okay, and we're going to go 94 and an 1/8. Next one. And you can mark that as number 1. Number 2 is 94 even. This one's 94. I'm going to ask for an 1/8 as well. There's a gap.
2, 94 even, and then 94 and 1/8 on 3.
Yes, sir. And then this one's 94 even. So
94
even again.
3 and a quarter.
What?
Can you measure the third one again? Was it a quarter?
94, 94 and a quarter, right? Oh, crap. I can't remember now. Let's just do that again.
94 and an 1/8.
This is not something that we want to do wrong.
Number 2 is 94.
Number 1 is 94 and an 1/8. Number 2 is 94 even.
Yep.
This one's 94 and a quarter. And then this one is 94 even. Correctamundo. All right. And that'll pick up this truss. This one isn't far enough to get to this truss. Their measurements are a little off. So the last, and that's fine, because I'm pretty sure, Matt, that this is the regular, this is regular, this is regular. We don't even have to pick that load up because I'm not taking these out. So only cut the first 3 if you don't mind. Thank you. All right. So what we're doing is we're moving the structural load of the header and the points for this truss into this corner, this truss into this point, this truss into this location, and this truss is sitting on top of structural lumber. That's structural lumber. These 2 won't be moving. Okay, so we just got to pick up these 3. Nice and simple. In the meantime, while he's cutting, this is not load bearing. This is not working. Sometimes you need a bigger hammer. There we go. This will be replaced. That is all structural until we build the wall. And yeah, we'll just wait a few minutes here before that happens. Okay. I guess I can always pull some nails while he's cutting. So I ran into a carpenter this morning at the Home Depot. I mentioned what we were doing with the show here tonight. And he was intrigued because, like a lot of carpenters, they have yet to have a renovation experience where they're removing a load-bearing wall. And so he was always hesitant to try to sort it out on his own. And he was surprised when I told him, you don't even need a building permit. Not where I live anyway. Make sure you always check your local building office. You know, I mean, yeah. Anyway. So he's going to be like watching this. He likes to watch at 9 o'clock at night while he's chilling out, relaxing. Right, getting ready for the next day. So that was cool. So shout out to him. All right. Matty T. And when he gets here, we got the right nails. Yeah. I'm going to need a little bit of room to work. Maybe I'll do that. From the inside. Safe, safe, safe. All right. Okay, son. What do we have? Number three? Okay. And that is 1, 2, 3. Good. Like I said, if you don't have to hit it into place, you're not picking up load, right? That looks pretty good. Okay.
What was our measurement?
Don't know. What'd you cut?
I don't know.
Let's do this together and we'll have some fun with it. Did I say 94 even?
Yeah.
What'd you cut it actually?
94 even.
Really? Yeah. Well, you see, this might be because I'm vertically challenged and I'm not high enough to read my tape. Come on, honey. Stop being like that. See?
Yep.
We'll just save that one anyway. Just lay it down. You can't make the board any longer. I'm just going to use this as my horizontal, Matt. All right. Let's get this in place. All right. And what we're doing is just going to toenail this so it doesn't leave its location. There we go. All right, and we're going to take the one that was cut wrong. We'll turn that into our temporary brace. Okay. That's much better. All right, so let me just walk you through this real quick. Gravity plus 1 nail is good. Now, 2 nails on the top so it doesn't bump over. 1 in the bottom so gravity does a lot of the work. This is racking. 2 nails, 2 nails, 2 nails. Now, this temporary structure can't go like this either because those screws are like racking, okay? Now we're good. Now we're going to finish our demo. Oi, oi, oi. And away we go. Now I get to put this back on the blade in the wall. Come on, honey. You got it? Yep. This is garbage. that vibration is because even though right now it's not load bearing, it's still carrying load. It's really splitting this 50-50. Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why we didn't just finish off the load bearing wall?
Well, these two aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And so that's the truss that needs to be carried next. This one stays here. That one stays here. So we're only picking up these 3 trusses. There you go. Yeah.
Rookie question.
Not so much a rookie question as much as I get it. Right? You're inside the building. If anything happens, you're inside the building. Don't worry, Matt. The Thorman name will live on. We have one son who's not here today. Because I know that's your first concern. All right, there we go. Yeah. Can you just pull this one for me? It's not really necessary to peel them apart. I'm just going to cut through the nails on this side, and then we'll be good to go. Okay. Cut the nails on the top. Whoa, come on, man. Am I cutting a nail or am I cutting through the wood? There. Pushing that tool for me. I don't have any oomph. Like my hand, push my. All right, I'm giving up on this blade. I think it's done.
You want a bi-metal blade?
Yeah, give me a torch or a white one. Oh, I'm almost there. Almost there. Okay. Thank you. It'll be amazing how much a new blade is going to do here. All right. Yep. That was the secret to success. There we go. That's amazing, eh? Difference that the tool makes. Okay. There we go. And you know we did it right because the house didn't fall down. That's not even a joke. I'm being serious. Same thing if you take it off the bottom or the top. Actually, it might be easier inside. Here, let me just get on it and pull it up. Pull it off the nails. There we go. All right. Are we feeling the pressure of the storm or something? All right. Now, this stud stays, oddly enough. So, we want to separate these ones. Whew. There we go. Yep. Oh, that's gone. Okay. So let's double check our 16 on centers. Boom, 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 boom. Perfect. Garbage. Okay. You want to beat that with a hammer if you like. Good, 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 good. All right. Now our system up until here is to lose the nails with the grinder, grind the nails, pull the face, clean it up. Let's get our sheathing on and then add all the rest of our studs. We're doing good. What time is it?
128.
1:28. We're kicking it. No, I'm gonna just, yes, ma'am. When a lady offers you something, what she's telling you is it's time for you to have a drink. She's not asking if you want a drink. 30 some odd years being married, I finally figured out. They ask you a question, they already know the answer. Looking good. Looking good, Maddie. Okay. My pleasure. Okay. Okay. We got some across the top. Oh, we got tons across the top. Now, if you're watching this, you're going, hey, what's that Roxel doing up there? When we pulled off the soffit, we lost the bird control. And so we didn't want to have birds coming in here and making nests overnight. Or bats or mice or whatever else have you. So we put up a bit of an animal barrier. We had a chance to get these walls torn off. It's amazing how fast animals will move in and take over your house because they kind of read the thermal changes and they can see, hey, I got access, there's heat. Let's go make a nest there. Bloody hell, eh? Go ahead. Go, I got glasses. I'm not worried about a couple of sparks. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of figured. Don't worry, I'm not flammable. Okay. Come over here. Just making sure we're efficient here before we grab our sheathing. We have 1 hour till we have to put the house wrap on no matter what. And a 50% chance of getting caught in the rain one way or another. Remember, when you're working outside, a little bit of rain ain't gonna kill anybody. It ain't gonna destroy your framing if it gets a little wet. Besides, I got an overhang. Unless the winds really pick up, it's not gonna be an issue. Okay, I am good here, Matt. How are you doing, buddy? Oh, instead of pulling them out? Oh, cheater. All right. I always pull the nails. It's just old school, I think. It's like, it's always that one nail that you go to put a new nail in, and then it backfires on you. What do you say we get another 2 or 3 sheets in here? How many can we do right now? Oh, I bet. Yeah. Pull that little piece of cardboard there. We can do 3 in a row. I'm going to switch the gun over, okay? All right. We're at that point where we're going to put another few pieces of sheathing on. And I think for today, because of the time, instead of making sure all the nails go in, we'll probably just tack it in conveniently. get our weatherproofing on, and then come back inside and then finish framing up all the rest of this. How's that sound to you, man?
Sounds good.
Yeah. Huh? You taking pictures for other socials, are you? You're adorable. All right. Alrighty. This needs to be on this side of the building. Go. Oh, we got lots of time. Yeah, that's plenty, Matt. We don't have to go any further than that. I love this. This looks like post-tornado. All right. Thanks, sir. You gonna grab the sheathing for me? Thank you. Just kind of clearing out a way for you. All right. I have no idea how to put house wrap over that, just for the record. All right. We'll just go. I'm just going to use my foot here. You can lift it. Okay. And we'll go flush up those lines a little bit. And up to the right. Next sheet. Beautiful. This closes up pretty darn quick, eh? And up we go. Onto the toe. To the right.
I got it. I got it.
Okay. It went down on you. Good. Now you'll see this one issue where we got to have here. This stud in a weird.
Go with your camera, or do you want to do it like that? Okay.
Okay. Our stud overlap is now staggered and weird, right?
Okay, so we got to throw in a stud.
Yeah,
Okay, we can figure that out later.
we will. For sure. Okay. That was rain, right? Did I just feel rain? Okay. Oh, what the heck? Here we go. We'll keep our tools under the overhang as well. Okay. Okay.
Wait.
Go up a little higher.
Yeah.
You
want to go higher?
Yeah, we're not catching that plate at all. Go right to there. Oh, come on. Bloody hell, it's not working. All right. All right. See how we are not going high enough.
You know? You don't think so?
Well, not next one. We definitely got to go higher. We got to worry about our air seal. And
Okay, well, let's take it off and put it back on.
Oh, hang on. You got it? 14 1/4 is your stud. We're good because we're going spray foam. If you get the sheet upside down, the lines don't match up, and then the height changes.
Oh,
That's all. Here,
okay.
go 14 1/4 and hit yourself.
Oh, that didn't hit.
Okay, so go 14.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
That was exciting. No, you're good. All right.
Okay.
You can hit the whole bottom plate, okay? All right. We ready? You hitting the header? Wow. All right. This is what happens, right? These guys kind of guesstimated all of their lumber. So there's my center. My 4 foot is there. How much do I got to rip off that next board to get online?
Inch and 5 eighths.
Really?
Yeah. Inch and 3 eighths, sir. Inch and a half.
Let's go inch and a half. That'll be easier math. Okay. We'll actually rip the next one an inch and a half. All right. Okay, let's grab a couple of these 92 and 5/8. We'll actually
Using 2.5 inch or 3 inch for the sheathing.
2 inch. I got them right here on me. They still only take 1 track. All right.
I'll take it actually.
Okay. There you go. Beautiful.
Okay, so next step here. You said rip an inch and a half off the sheet.
Yeah. We'll rip an inch and a half, and I'm going to actually install this one half and half. Okay.
Okay.
These are 92 and 5/8. They're not acting like it. Ah. There we are. Let's reinstate. Whoa, we need to put more nails in that bad boy. So what I'm doing is I'm setting this up. Doing a lousy job of it too. That's got there we go. Nailing surface on both sides. All right. Any chance you can throw me your gun real quick? I can't let go of this or it falls off. I hit that 2x4 in and went right through that nail. There we go, thanks. Beautiful. Okay. All right. All right. Woo. Now we're just creating a stud bay now to pick up all of these extra boards every 16 inches, give or take. And for everybody who's ever wondered why there's a double plate up here, it's because the truss is going at 24, the wall is going at 16. So they don't always line up. So the double plate is necessary to transfer the load into the trusses or into the studs that don't align with the trusses. That's all it is. It also helps tie the house together. I'm actually a little far away here. So I'm just going to measure off. 16. And then 16. I'm actually marking it off with what the lines that the carpenter put in there originally. We'll change the nails back out. Secure our studs. Yo.
Why'd you skin the walls vertically, not horizontally?
Makes no difference. And we were only peeling part of the house. And because we're on a ranch, we only have 4 more feet of wall beneath us before we hit concrete. So it's easy for us to just put that last one in horizontal. There's I got nails in that board there, bud. We're not quite there yet. There we go. Yeah, so Eric's not on mic, actually. I should explain that. Somebody asked why we're doing vertical instead of horizontal. And that's because I need 12 feet of sheathing. At some point, I'm going to go horizontal. I can do that on my last row beneath this later in the day. Once we're ready to do the rest of the job.
We get rid of these?
Nope, they're all 16s. So they're all staying. There we go. Right where that post is. All right. Look at all these nails, eh? Yeah. Well, I'm going to join your club today, man. I'm just not very good with a hammer in my old age. All right, maybe. Let me just get that little bit. I don't want to be hung up over a 1/4 inch. Okay, now I'm ready. Whew. All right. Yeah, oh, did I miss one? Okay, let's make sure we only have one top plate exposed now.
Only one top plate exposed?
Yep. And you got to come left. Okay, got to get onto this. Okay.
Okay.
If you're pushing in the middle,
Okay, sorry.
it won't work. Don't push. I'm going to hold this with my hand.
Yep.
You worry about getting it tight up there and getting the right height. Okay. Push the top right corner. Come on, baby. Now this stud is skinned off. It's been rolled over, right? It comes off the bark. So all right. Thank you. What do you think? What's next, buddy?
Tyvek.
You want to go straight to that?
So the custom cutting a piece, this window's going anyway.
What's their timing like? 146? Really? 146.
Yeah, let's just wrap it. And
Why don't
then,
you take the cutters? Let's trim that down by the post.
Okay.
All right. And then we can take the Tyvek behind the post and tape it to the siding.
Is it Tyvek or Typar?
Today we have Tyvek.
What's the
I've used both. They're different companies.
Just same
They both
product?
tie stuff. I don't know. Yeah, same thing, different pile. To be honest with you. All right, we'll leave the window intact for now.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, let's do that. You clean this up. I'll organize inside. Maybe I'll handle some questions for a few minutes. That's a great idea. Let's go back to the command center.
You need anything?
No, I'm good. I got my drink around here somewhere.
Right there.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh. Usually I take my labels off.
Oh, I don't think you did during the show.
No worries.
Oh, there's one with a label off over here, but I think
All righty. Here we go. All right, Eric, let's get into the chat here and have some conversation while Matt's busy working away over there. I'd much rather make a living with my brain than my brawn anyway at this point in my life. All right. Whew. Welcome back. That's a lot of light in the back there. Yeah. They're super hot. Just twist the base away from my face. Just turn them in a different direction, Chris. That's all. Yeah. That's my daughter Christina in the background, everybody. They will set you on fire. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it.
I've got a coffee
Sure.
in one hand. Oh.
Okay, now we know how to use lights. All right. Now we know how to use lights. That's okay. All right, let's get into some questions here, guys. Planes and bikes. It's an interesting combination. I guess in Ontario, they don't require extra bracing on interior or exterior walls for seismic reasons. No. That's exactly right. We do not have a seismic issue with our building code. We don't even really need hurricane ties in our building. We just toenail our rafters in, one on each side. You know, it's kind of nutty. Yeah, we don't have that same kind of issue. We get cold here, so we have to fight cold. Our biggest issues here are usually thermal. And every once in a while, we get a storm that surprises us, but usually it's just thermal. Oh, wow. Next time, turn the whole house, they said.
Yeah.
Disadvantages of a ridge vent. Yeah, there are a few. One of them is heavy winds, and then the rain comes in the house. We prefer, and down here, well, down in the south, they're fine, but up here with our snow, if this is my house and I have a ridge vent, I can get like 2 feet of snow in one night, okay? Now the ridge vent is completely blocked. Now it's going to be melting and the water's gonna just follow inside the house. And so it'll rain inside the house. We actually have mushroom vents on this house, which are really flat to the roof, okay? A really good vent is a tiered vent. It sticks way out, comes about 18 inches or more above the roof line before there's any ventilation. But the mushrooms are horrible. In fact, the mushroom vent in this house over that end got involved with some ice damming, so the inside got covered in water. It's all rotted out. And before we can change out our roof to metal next year, we'll have them cut that away so that we can deal with that. Hey, there's Matt Hard at work. Good man. Sonny is struggling with building wall-hung kitchen shelves. Okay. Made 4 trips to the store in 2 days. Ran into brick behind the blazer. Yeah, that happens. Sonny, the cool thing is, if you have brick, you can use a masonry bit, and you can buy them in a kit so that you drill a hole, and then the plug for that masonry bit will be in that same package. And then you can put that plug in the brick, and the brick can hold your screw for you. And if you have any trouble with that, because the brick got worn away too much, stick a piece of copper wire in there, or I don't know what else you might have laying around. But a little bit of wiring goes a long way with helping create the compression for the screw in that insert bit in the brick to really bind well, okay? Oh. I gotta say, I'm just sitting here watching you work on the other side of the screen here, Matt. It's kind of fun. All right, Corey's closing in his attached garage. The floor is concrete, but used to be a carport. Okay, not to level, obviously. How to level the floor and seal the 16x7 door opening. Where would I start first? If you're sealing it for life, and it all depends on your climate. Corey, if you're a 4-season climate, then what you've got to do is you've got to seal it and you got to excavate outside and bring your waterproofing up a little bit, okay? I would actually suggest for everybody who wants to do a carport and close it in, take some time and throw a layer of cement blocks, cinder blocks across that old opening, okay? Get that cemented in and parged in with the rest of the house. Make that continuous look. Otherwise, it just as obviously says garage. Also gives you some waterproofing protection there, okay? So that's really handy. And then you can put a sill gasket and then build your wood on top of that. And then your exterior facade will tie right in with the existing. If you need to, go up 2 courses of block. But have it so that you have block that can be parged that matches up with the rest of the house. That way, your finish will match up with the rest of the house and it'll look a lot more professional. All righty. And then when you get heavy rain, it's not going to be coming in the building because you can actually even, you can get a surface tar and you can get that area there waterproofed a little bit. Hey, Jeff, since that's no longer a window opening, why not just leave the header in and add cripples to close the window? Great question. Here's the point. Joe, are you around? I would love to answer this over there. Can we do that? Yeah, brilliant. Right over here. We'll do that. Okay, there we go. So I'm way ahead of everybody here, aren't I? I'm not very patient, Eric. Have you noticed? All right. And if you can get this shot straight on, so then they'll be able to understand this. So let's imagine this, where this structure is, the temp. Are we on? There we go. No worries, buddy. I got you. All right. So where this structure is roughly where the window was. Okay. So you're looking at these spaces here. So I had doubles and then half cripples and then a ledger and then a big beam up here. Here's the point. All of that, if I just added a couple of sticks on the top, I'd been fine to close. Correct. Yeah, in theory, yes. But what I got then is I got two pieces of wood up here that have an R rating of 3.5. And I've got all this extra lumber instead of spray foam. Where are weak spots in the wall for my thermal? I would rather take that extra time and get rid of all that junk, come back with new 16s on center, and have all of that cavity filled with my spray foam, eliminate all those thermal breaks going from hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold, because that is ultimately going to be where the moisture builds up inside my wall. And since I'm going to have corners here with cabinets, I'm not going to have positive airflow, I've got to get a better seal. Okay? So behind kitchen cabinets, if you got a thermal break issue, you got hot and cold, you're going to get moisture issues, and you're going to end up causing issues with your house. You're going to end up developing mold in behind those cabinets because it's harder for the heat to get in behind that cabinet. So consider that. When you have an opportunity, don't take these away out. Clean it all up. Get rid of all the old moldy crap around the window as well, so there's mold gone. And you can increase your thermal protection by spray foaming just 16 on center cavities. Great question, man. I'm glad you asked. All right. Oh, here we go. Ross, in my tiny home, 16 by 38. 16 by 38, yeah, that's pretty tiny, Russ. That's good. All right, what kind of insulation do you recommend? All framing is done in 2x6 New Brunswick winters. You see minus 30, of course, trying to budget friendly as well. All right, budget friendly. Your 2x6 framing should already have R20 in the walls, okay? So you've got the same insulation that all brand new construction is going to get. What you have to take a look at, Ross, is what's going on in your attic area, right? Because that's where most of the heat will leave. Heat rises, and in your tiny home, do you have R40? And if you don't, can you get there? And if you can't, what can you do to keep the heat from escaping? You might even want to consider putting in ceiling fans to push the heat back down again, even in the wintertime, all right? I know it sounds almost crazy, but those are the kind of measures that'll make a big difference. Getting rid of your drafts. If you have drafts around your windows, pull the trim off, see if they've got spray foam seal between the window and the frame. Those drafts are killer. Check your doors are closing properly, your weather stripping is good, because drafts actually make a home feel colder than it is, and then you jack up the temperature and you're just burning energy, right? The other thing you can take a look at is your floor. What's your floor package? Underneath your tiny home, do you have R40 there as well? That's another great question. If not, budget friendly to fix a cold house in the wintertime, consider in-floor heating. You would be surprised if you were to take a product like Dietra Heat and put it out in your living room and then run your heating cable and add heat to the floor, pour some 4-leveler on it, and then throw back another luxury vinyl plank on top of that. Now your floor is warm and that heat is rising up through the house. It's going to make everything feel warm, okay? Instead of forcing it from a forced air corner here and under a window there, you can have the entire floor and the entire living space warmed, and it's going to be relatively affordable because New Brunswick, I'm not sure, am I correct in this, but you guys get your energy from Quebec Electric? So it's going to be very, very affordable, okay? So I would do that. I would actually just add heat to the floor, and that'll fix almost every other issue you can have in that house. And you don't have to destroy your home to get more comfortable. All right. Option on the 1-inch thick foam subfloor panels. They sell at Home Depot for basements. Yeah, and yeah, stairs to basement, too tight to get 4x8 sheets of OSB down in one piece to do the black dimple membrane. I get it. My opinion on the 1-inch thick subfloor panels is they are a great solution to that problem, okay? It's more expensive, and you have to be more diligent to close the gaps to get a proper insulation. But if you hammer them well and you get them nice and tight, and you can even screw them down with Tapcons to make sure nothing's moving around, you're going to have a really good result. It's just more expensive, and I prefer the big membrane and the dimple in environments where you can actually get those materials down there. Unfortunately, we never leave a 4-foot window in the basement for building code so people could ever upgrade their house. Don't ask me why. It's really dumb. Excuse me. Dust. Korg, great name. Redoing my bathroom and kitchen. Having the courage thanks to your channel. Awesome. Hey, listen, if you run into trouble, Korg, courage is one thing, but wisdom is another. If you need help, consider the membership program. $5, you can jump into our Discord. You can send me pictures and say, hey, I'm stuck here. Help me out. You're not always going to get into the live stream chat, and I can't solve every problem here. I love pictures when I'm diagnosing situations. And if you are asking questions, guys, sometimes where you live and how old is your house is a great way to start so I understand your building technology before I try to answer. Oh, that's awesome. Oh. You're looking for questions. All right. Well, then maybe I should get back to work because we are trying to get this done before the rain comes. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Keep the questions coming, guys. We're going to do another batch of questions in a minute. I'm just going to give Matt a hand helping get this house closed up. Yeah, well, how are we doing out there, Matt? It's raining, and how are we doing? Oh, it's raining.
No, it's not raining.
Oh, okay. So it's not raining. All right. Well, let's get Joe out here. We'll get you in underneath the cover. We'll do this.
Yeah, I see the staple hammer.
Staple hammer and staples. You got that loaded up. Okay. Beautiful. Now, we have two options, Matt. We can try to unroll it on the roll, which is gonna be tough because that's a 10-footer. And we gotta be underneath the cage. Or we can throw the roll on the end of the broom and I'll just hold it and then you can stretch it out and then we'll slice it and then we'll just work it together with one sheet.
Cut it to an 8-foot roll?
No, we want the 10. We want the overhang. Yeah. All right. I think I'll do the broom approach. That makes a lot of sense to me. All right. You got staples. We're still missing a fair amount of nails, but that can always be tomorrow or the next day. All right. Let's do this. We'll save the cap nails for after we're done. Let's just run down here. If you stretch that the house wrap back to about here, Matt, then I'll slice her off. I don't even have my knife on me, and I don't know why.
I got mine.
Do you got yours?
Yep.
Okay, well then you get to hold the broom, and I'll stretch it out.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Here's a great little trick, guys. Oh, yeah, well, that takes one step, and then we got 8 million tracks of staples. Oh, don't. Home of the pot.
Oh, yeah.
We needed that broom, yeah. Just be mildly careful down there. Here we go. So we got a 10-foot roll. We got an 8-foot piece of sheathing. We're going to go extend past it. This will act like a water diversion layer. Okay. There you go. So, whoa. I got it. You stand still. That's tricky.
Okay.
Yeah, just stand it up. Put it on the ground.
Okay.
Okay, go back to the corner of the house. All right. Yeah, like away from the house is best. And I'm just going to go like this. There we go. This is how we do it. And there, that's it. That's the cut line. Okay. So now you can go horizontal with it. Go horizontal with it. Okay, and cut it off. And my fingers underneath as well. So like go a couple inches shy so I don't lose my fingers. Thank you. Step on it to stretch it. If you don't create compression, it won't cut. Oh, your blade sucks. Yeah. Get a better part of your blade. This is one of these spaces where you want it sharp. These house wraps are not designed to cut easy with the dull blade, that's for sure. Okay, that goes away. All right. Hey, hold on. I'm gonna get the cap nails here. You got a bunch of these in your pouch or something?
No.
Really? I'm surprised. This seems like such a light box. All right, so Joe, I'll show you what I'm doing here, down there. Beautiful. Now, coming all the way down. Just like vapor barrier, Matt. Now, I need enough that it goes up to the top and maybe an extra inch or so, right? That's it. Okay. Nice and tight. Okay. That's really all we got to do. And then we'll come back here. I got a stud here. Got sheathing here. And this is just to get started, right? The audio is crazy with this Tyvek, I'm sure, eh? Holy cow. Body. All right. Now, let's get it up and over. All this other stuff. There we are. So now we're going to take the cap nails. Okay. Gonna find my wood. Here's a cap nail. And that plastic held by the nail is actually going to defend against the wind. And as long as we don't open up the windows inside the house, we'll be okay, generally speaking. Now, why in the world is this blowing around? Matt, you got any idea? Why is it blowing around?
We haven't nailed the bottom yet.
I just didn't figure there'd be like, do we have like air conditioning on inside or something? We must.
Yeah, we got an air conditioning unit under the scaffold.
So the fan's blowing, so we're going to be fighting against that. That's fantastic. Okay, let's just get some cap nails on here. Hold this thing in place. And then we can worry about sealing up the rest of the edges. Okay. Now, building code actually requires the use of cap nails on Tyvek, especially for their warranty. Here's the deal. Every one of these little red dots, you should have a fastener. And the reason for that is so that these things can last like a whole year until you get your facade on. All right. Now, for the purpose of today, I'm not looking to get a whole year's worth of warranty. I just need to get out of the rain. So that's good enough for me and the girls I go out with. I'm going to show you what about wrapping this thing up is like. Okay, and then Matt can finish this all off for me. Because Matt loves to do my work for me. All right. Here, look, check this out. Oh, there's my knife. Good, thank God I found it. We're gonna try to create, I got a separation here. All right. Should be able to get that behind the downspout and around the other side. We missed what?
The glue.
The glue. Oh, yeah. They expected me to glue that on as well? You know, there's a difference between good building practice and best practice says. All right. Here's what I got to say about the glue. I'm using spray foam. I'm going to get all the airlock that I need with my spray foam. I don't need to add extra work by padding an adhesive. If this house lasted 50 years, nailing on some aluminum siding and cardboard, then I'm going to get 50 years out of this facade, no problem at all. Man, they really got that on tight. Bloody. There we go. I'll try to get that freed up. So I don't need to worry about what is the most extreme method of building known to mankind. Okay, I'm renovating an old pig, trying to bring it up past building code, not trying to flex and show off about how amazing the building science is and try to make everybody feel bad because they're not doing things that are only done on $100 million mansions. I'm trying to be reasonable and practical. And yeah, there are better ways to do just about anything that I do. But when I'm building, unless I'm building Taj Mahal, I'm going to treat it like a house. And that's something that needs to get a return on investment. Okay? So that's the way that I build, looking for a return on my investment. And if that bothers some folks, that's okay, be bothered. Not worried about it. Hey, you got my tape? Oh, I got my tape. So here we go. Now, I don't mean to act like I'm offended or anything. I'm just saying. I know how builders are. Every contractor I've ever known could go into anybody else's job and just tear their quality of work apart. Huh? It's so easy, isn't it? Because there's so many different levels of quality that are out there. So before you judge how I build, consider this. My goal is to make my forever home. I'm not going to last another 50 years. Why should my house? I'm just joking. We're going to build it above code, but I'm not worried about building it extreme, trying to become best practices. I'm not looking for a Renovator of the Year award on my house build. Just trying to get her done. All right. Hey, Matt, I'm too short for this, man. I need my ladder. Something fierce. All right. We can get this around the corner and then sealed up to the existing house. Then it'll be a much stronger house wrap and be able to withstand weather all 4 of my seasons. All right. Here we go. Oh, yeah, buddy. Starting to look like a house she is.
Just be careful on the edge over here. I have all the siding cut off.
Oh, really?
And it's all real sharp.
Are you okay?
I didn't cut myself.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Just,
Making sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's hung awkwardly. Something's wrong with this picture. It's the window. This is going to be very temporary here. All right. That's not a problem. What's going on there, bud? I was just going to get on a bench here, but if you want to do that, that's fine. Here, I'll leave that tape for you, okay? You got a knife on you? Okay. All right, well, let's just go down here. I'm going to grab my bench, start finishing off, closing up the top, and I'll show you what I want to do there. Here we go. I need my bench. All right. Okay. Here we are. Now, one thing that I just can't deal with, it's bothering me, so I'm not getting low enough to actually cover over. Yeah, I'm not getting low enough here. That's just not cool. I was lower before. Darn. Yeah, in our haste, it looks like we got it installed a little bit too high. That's okay. I'm going to fix that right now. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to fix it. Oh, darn, I've got my hammer down there. Okay. Now, if that is my new height, coming down here. Wow. Yeah. We're definitely creating an issue for ourselves. Hey, Matt. We've really created an issue here. I don't know, man, but like we went from something where we had a couple of extra inches and we went upwards, and now it's not covering the siding. I'm still coming up short over here. Did we take more siding off on this side than the other side? Is that possible? Like I'm not covering down here. Yeah, like right away.
Right here?
Right away. No, right away. Like we just look at this. I pulled this down to almost flush. And even with a 10-foot roll, now I'm covering. Okay, so that's fine, but I just adjusted that. Everything else is too high. So I'm thinking we should just pull it loose and do it again. Because all these other caps are just in the wrong spot. Like right from the very beginning. And we can just pull it loose, have holes, tape the holes. Okay, I don't know if pulling these caps is going to be, that's not convenient.
Can we just run like a strip of Tyvek and then tape it?
Like a second layer.
What is the code and building and stuff, all that stuff?
It's not about it, it's temporary. As long as it's weatherproof, nobody cares.
So why don't we just cut a strip and then tape it?
Just run it off like a skirt.
It's not best practice, obviously, but
Well, it's temporary, it doesn't matter. All right.
we have to replace this one anyway.
No, it's just, it looks stupid because it's going on an angle. I don't like looking stupid. Right? Like I'd rather just pop it and then patch it than look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Let's just not look for a solution. Let's just fix it.
You want to rip it off?
Yeah. Yeah. Because even this, even though it's the right height, just don't be too aggressive, okay? Look for the fastener. And then the less of a hole we make, the more we can reuse it. Right? We got one more there. It's the angle. It's all about the angle. All right. So now I'm going to go back on the bench. Hold this tight again. Don't worry about lifting it. Let it hang. You see how the angle is the problem? So that's where I want to be. Right there. And it's easier for you to pull it and fold it at the other end. Okay? I got a window trim. Bloody. Nailed myself real good there, didn't I? All right. Yeah, let's do that. I'll just come run down and then we'll cap it up in a second. I'm out.
Where's our box?
In me. You know how it is when you get near the end of the day and you start feeling stupid and I forget things and I always get too much of a rush. What are these, 1/8?
They're 1/2 inch. 1/4 inch.
Okay. They look awfully small. All right, no worries. Okay. This will tack us up until we get where we want to go. All right. Load your pouch up with some cap nails.
Red squares.
I'm not really too concerned about it for today. Yeah, like there should be like 4 rows of fasteners. Okay. But every red square really isn't necessary. This is still a little bit temporary. We just got to get ready for the rain here, bud. I don't expect hurricane force winds tonight, so. All right. So that's that. Actually, I'll just keep this here. Get some cat nails going on. Get these off the ground. So maybe the best bet, Matt?
Yep.
Yeah. We'll get the top in.
Should we start in the middle and then work our way out?
No, I'm fine. I want to get the top nailed in real good. I want to stretch the bottom down. We should be fine now. Right? At the end of the day, having this all stretched out real sexy like is nice. But not entirely necessary. We still have to frame the inside window. I think we do that next. We bring the saw in, or where is it right now?
It's in the saw's in the garage.
Is it in the garage? So if I gave you a handful of measurements, you just pop out and bring it all back in? All right, let's do that. Well, we're almost there. There we go. You know, Matt,
Yep.
I think if we were just to get along the bottom row here and put some caps near the bottom of the sheathing, we're good for tonight. There's a lot of crap down there to clean up. It's going to be very inefficient trying to get that done. I'd be happy just to get the cap nails on. We can always come back tomorrow and button it up for a bigger storm. This is not a hurricane season or tornado season here. It's just a good old-fashioned little bit of thunder and lightning, a little bit of rain. We don't want to be out here with a camera. But we're going to be okay. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. The air conditioning unit is right underneath the deck here, and it's just blowing air like a mother. Once we get control of that, this game changes a lot. Oh, it's too bad. We didn't get quite as far as I was hoping today. I was really hoping to get the whole wall open, but hey, what do you do, huh? Life isn't perfect. Okay. That's window, that's window, that's window. That's window frame.
How did you want to finish the what is this, Tyvek?
Yep.
House wrap?
Yep.
Just tape it to the siding.
Tape it on.
Just tape it.
Nothing wrong with that. And however awkward it is, just get it done. I'm just going to kind of close this up a bit here, Matt. Give me a little bit of flexibility. Yeah. And throw a couple of cat nails into the old railing post here too. help hold all this in position. Because that air conditioning unit is going to give it a workout. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's better than it was, that's for sure. Okay. Brilliant. All right, Matt. Well, if you're good with that, I'm gonna head back in.
Am I taping the top?
Nah, just nail it. We're not gonna get eastern winds today. It's not gonna be an issue.
Okay, so that's considered done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Run a second line though. Okay. Of tape on tape. See, you're catching down here, but not there. If you go a little slower and try to press it in and get a bigger seal, go one piece of siding at a time. You're going to find that a lot more effective. There you go. Perfect. Thanks, bud. All right. Hey, it's 2:30. It's 2:30. I beat the 2:30 mark. I know I cheated, guys. I cheated. It's 2:30, and we got her closed up. Instead of starting now, we're finished now. Which is fun. Because honestly, yeah, that's enough. It was already starting to rain. We actually didn't have anything on our radar until 3 o'clock, and the weather changed today. Big surprise, it happens. You got to roll with the punches, right? And get all this out of here, get more comfortable. Woo! All right, well, I'm not in a hurry to leave you hanging because we promised till 3, and I don't mind delivering. So if you got questions and you're still in the chat and you're curious, then by all means, hit me up. Drain the brain. I can always go home and sleep it off. Ashley is a member. Cheers, Ashley. I have a finished basement in Pacific Northwest. I've learned that's what that means. I used to think there was a state called Pneu, but that isn't the case. And I was remodeled. And I found out there was no waterproofing. Of course, 2x4 framing on the cement. There's no water damage on the 2x4. Should I leave it alone or do it right? Now, brilliant question. What is right? Okay. There are all kinds of people out there doing all kinds of marketing and trying to promote products and processes and calling it right. What is right? Ashley, if you're in the chat, tell me real quick. How old is your house? Okay. What is the facade on your house? Is it stucco? Is it siding? Is it wood? Is it T111? I'd love to know the details because then talk about what's right or what isn't right. Okay. Hard to do that without seeing the whole picture. But, and if you don't have time to have that conversation right away, that's okay. You can hit me up in the Discord, send me pictures, and I can give you a better idea about what is right or not. But here's some clues. If you're wondering if your house is built right, once had a structural engineer tell me, if it lasted 50 years, the way it was built, and it's not deteriorating like is in a rot or mold, it'll last another 50 guaranteed. Because even weather comes in 50-year cycles. And so if the house has seen every kind of weather that it's going to see, you got nothing to worry about. Like even this one, aside from around the windows, like really, if I wanted to, I could have just put in a new facade with a water diversion system that could be taped and sealed up to my new windows, and everything else would be fine. This house would last another 100 years. So that's good. There we are. Oh, so yeah, that can be what is right. Houses from the 60s, outside is stone and siding. Okay, so here's the deal. A house from the 60s that has stone and siding with 2x4s. In behind the stone, you are going to have some sort of a water screen. So that side of the house would be fine. Back then, they used to use a 10-pound felt paper, okay? And when they put that on the house, it's basically like that black tar stuff that we have here, only thicker. The siding, not an issue. All right, aluminum siding, again, your house looks a lot like mine around certain windows, depending on which way your storms blow. So that might be the only weak spot that you have. Do you need to start over and tear things apart? No, just because you see me doing it doesn't mean you have to. All right, if you're not seeing any visible mold, don't add a renovation to your maintenance schedule. It's not necessary, okay? I'm telling you right now, even having torn it apart, no matter how ugly it is, I would have been probably fine for another 50 years. Before I saw mold coming into the house. I actually was really struggling with, should I just spray foam in its current condition, knowing that the mold isn't growing right now, and I'm changing the facade so there wouldn't be any more water, so it wouldn't proliferate. And I decided to err on the idea of putting new sheathing on, just so that we have that, the racking power of that. I don't want to rely on that cardboard. Anyway, there we go. Great question. Hopefully that helps. Russell Flowers, another member. Cheers, Russell. Thanks for joining today, buddy. Looking to eventually replace masonite siding on my home. It's made to look like board and batten now. What is an economical modern board and batten siding? Oh, economical board and batten, you're still looking at vinyl, okay? And you can go, depending where you live, you can check the folks at Gentech. You can go to Associated Materials down in the United States, okay? That's the parent company for Gentech, and they do have board and batten look. They've got cedar shake look. They've got all that in siding, in vinyl, and it is very affordable and economical, and it's a DIY project. You can do it yourself, no doubt. Mr. Hammer Dance, I can't touch this. I am looking to strip the front of my 1968 house that's plaster and lath. Would you suggest I do the spray foam myself with the Home Depot kits, or should I hire a company? Guys, great. There's been a bunch of videos on the internet lately of people doing their own spray foam with kits. They're buying them from Amazon. I'm going to tell you right now, all of these kits are inefficient and cost way too much money, all right? They're really marketing to the DIYer to say, hey, you could save a couple $1,000 on your job if you do it yourself. Here's some really expensive product. Now go provide free labor. And you know what? You get a poor result. It's not as efficient. It's going to drive you crazy. It's a lot of extra work. You even have to have the right temperature in your house for those kits to even work. I'm going to suggest this. If you're going to go spray foam, go with the pros. They got better equipment, better product, and they're going to get you a better result, better R value. They're going to do it all real quick in one day, and that is a great place to spend the money. You go ahead and spend all your time and energy refinishing the rest of the house. Take it from that, drywall, tape, paint, all that. But when it comes to spray foam, get the good equipment. Don't try to do it yourself using the cheap stuff. It is just way too much work. Way too much work. It's not worth your time. All right. What do you think of these ENW Zip R sheathing using their own better or as reliable as traditional OSB, plywood plus wrap, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, listen, Zip is a great product, right? It's made for the top 1%. So if you're not in the 1% of homeowners, you're not building a $4 million home, the hell with it. That's all I got to say about it. It's not necessary. Like OSB and house wrap, half the cost. Well, and I don't have to run around with tape and a roller all day long and liquid flashing. It's not necessary. We do not have to build a spaceship. It's a house. So when you have an old house and you're renovating, don't try to make it up to modern code so it's net zero. For the love of God, you're not going to get there. You can't build a net zero house unless you start in the building process. Renovating, all you want to do is surpass code and get it relatively efficient. Follow my advice and you're going to be able to do that. You could spend tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars fixing up your house to modern standards, all right, and save $50 a year in energy over what I'm doing. It ain't worth the energy. I'm just saying. It's just not worth it. Next.
We're running low on questions, but we're talking about
Love it. What?
We're with Petri from Finland.
Okay.
There's this many saunas in Finland.
3.5 million saunas and 5 million people in Finland or something. Well, yes, because you need one to work. There's nothing wrong with that. Listen, our doctors are just trying to figure out the math over here and across the pond. And they've kind of come up with this concept that people that sauna once a week actually reduce their chance of heart attack by 50%. I don't know if there's any science to that or not. Okay, I'm not here to be a medical doctor. I'm not giving advice. But the point is this. I'm going to build a sauna right here on this channel in my backyard. And I'm going to make it so that anybody else can duplicate that system. And we're not going to make it so crazy that you have to be like a master carpenter, an experienced woodworker, and have a great shop. We're going to do it with basic tools so that you can be successful. I think that's it for us today, guys. We're exhausted. It's hot. It's humid. It's sticky. The house is closed up. The team is ready to go and party. I'm just joking. Kind of. Anyway, listen, if you're watching this on the redo, that's great. Consider next week, Wednesday, Friday. We're tearing out all the walls in the basement, lifting the subfloor. We're looking for all the weaknesses. We're going to understand this house so much better. We're going to see if they built the structure right. And then we're going to bust open the concrete because we're moving our bathroom to a new location. We're going to show you all of that ins and outs. And then we're going to follow that up with a visit from my favorite plumber, Mark from Horizon. And he's going to do videos with us on this channel showing you how to do a rough-in under your slab for your new bathroom. We're really excited about this channel. We're really excited about this house. We're excited to be able to help you guys out with your next project. So make sure you are there. Cheers to everybody. And thanks to all of our members who showed up today and asked questions. Appreciate and love you guys. Thanks for helping support our channel. Cheers to the next time.